The story is about Kang Chi-yu, a male student, who accidentally transmigrated into a game called Leo Map. Instead of becoming a player, he became a demon hybrid, with super-fast regeneration ability. Thanks to this ability, as soon as he transmigrated, the young man had to endure countless fatal attacks from other demons. For them, this was just entertainment. But for him, it was a feeling of bone-piercing pain. But there was one thing they didn't know. Although he was an ordinary player, the divine-grade equipment and the strongest dungeons in the current game were all created by his own hands. Alright, let's get straight to the main content. In the internet, cafe voices filled with surprise echoed. "Hey, did you see? There's a new map from Kang Chi on Discord." His friend calmly replied, "You're just finding out now." The other guy boasted, "Woke up this morning and immediately got first place." His friend heard that and was surprised. "What, just you?" That person affirmed, "Yes, that's right. But this map is insane, unimaginably difficult." His friend heard that and immediately exclaimed with frustration, "I told you that Kang Chi guy isn't human. How can he release new maps at that speed and still get to the top spot every time?" That person quickly agreed. Guaranteed he's using bots or something. Couldn't be anything else. Across from them, there was someone playing a game while constantly chewing food. The friend beside him happily asked when he heard the exclamation from the other side. "Hear that?" "He's using bots," the friend seemed annoyed and asked, "Seriously? And why do you eat here all the time? You've got tons of info." He just calmly replied, "You don't know how delicious the food is here," he added, "and I got first place again. This time you better get ready." His friend could only reply helplessly, Yeah. His friend at this moment didn't know where he got the confidence to say that. "This guy Quan, you talk like first place is definitely in your hands. You are using bots." He also didn't argue back. I guess they're not entirely wrong. I only find joy in the game world and the maps I create." After spending some time in the internet cafe, finally, the two of them headed home. "Have a good day." His friend before leaving didn't forget to remind him. "See you tomorrow. Don't forget to treat me with that thick wallet of yours." He calmly replied, "All right, see you tomorrow." If I were ever asked why I'm so obsessed with this game, it's because there's nothing I can control in the real world. I find it easy to do everything in the game, while everything seems impossible in real life. Even those useless streetlights are things I can't move. He thought dejectedly. If this were in the game, I could change their shape and size with just a click. As he walked and pondered, a truck sped towards him. He suddenly turned towards the dazzling light. Standing before the speeding truck, he had one regret. It's a pity that in reality, even an object like a truck can't be deleted just because I want it to. The speeding truck suddenly braked hard and stopped. He stood there, scared. "Whoa, that was close! Thought I was going to be isekai'd or something." The driver got out and yelled, scolding him, "Hey, are you trying to kill yourself or something?" "Watch where you're going." Being unjustly scolded angered him. He pointed straight ahead. When he started crossing the road, the light had turned green, he said. Uncle, look at the traffic light first." The driver looked over. Flustered. When did the light change?" He ignored it and quickly crossed the road. It's so frustrating. If I could change everything in real life, like in a game, everything would be so much easier. Then I could create the world I want. Right after that wish, the sky seemed to grant it. The cable on a construction crane with a heavy object snapped, causing a steel beam to fall rapidly, horrifying everyone. "Oh no, crane! Get away!" The steel beam fell towards a child standing nearby. He couldn't stand by and let the child die. The steel beam fell faster and faster, ready to crush the child. But luckily, a hand reached out, grabbed the child, and forcefully threw them out of the way. The child was completely unharmed. but he was crushed to death by the steel beam for saving the child. Before he died, he was conscious for a moment, and then affirmed. See, this is reality. His soul was pulled into some space, continuously falling. As soon as he opened his eyes, he was confused, asking himself, "Where am I? It's so dark, feels like I'm in a black hole. Am I not dead?" While in a daze, a voice came from nowhere. "Mortal, how is the oblivion purgatory? Now it's time for you to face reality." And seeing the large face before him, he asked in confusion, "Who are you, and what is the oblivion purgatory?" That entity quickly stated one thing: death is just a tool for transmigration. Hearing these words made him unable to believe it. "What?" That entity kindly said, "Let me give you a chance to recall your memories." Seeing the entity constantly talking in circles made him furious. "What the hell are you talking about? Say it, so it's easier to understand." When the entity didn't care, and focused on calling out, "Oh, forgotten one," and "Open your eyes," he was forced away by a surge of power. "Wait, what are you doing?" Wait, something shifted, causing him to suddenly open his eyes, jolting up in a room and screaming. At this moment, he was stunned. "What? This looks like a castle." He looked around, and then he immediately looked at the glass door, which immediately, reflecting on his current state. This is me only just realizing I'm utterly confused. What, I'm not dead? Am I some generic anime character? Is this for real? No way. But this feeling is too real. This isn't a dream. At this moment, he continued to look around the room. So where am I? It looks like an old castle. Who am I? While he was lost, a voice rang out. "You're muttering to yourself." Hearing that voice, he immediately looked back, and suddenly a girl stabbed him straight through with a blade, causing him extreme pain. Oh, what the hell? That girl was furiously attacking him. After giving him 2 stabs, the girl wondered, "What, you thought you'd die, didn't you?" At this moment, he couldn't hear anything, just clutched his chest in pain. It hurt so much. "She stabbed through my sternum." Then he turned pale and turned to ask the girl, "Why did you do that?" The girl smiled brightly and asked back, "You ask why? It's because I hate you so. Of course I'm trying to get rid of you." Finishing her words, she immediately raised her blade. He was scared and couldn't believe it. What? She really means to kill me. Just as she was about to finish his life, someone came and knocked the blade out of the girl's hand. The girl angrily turned to scold. "Tam, why are you getting in my way again?" Tam admonished. "Oh, come on, Soda! You shouldn't do that to your sibling." Hearing their conversation, he gritted his teeth in rage. "What the hell is going on? And now who is this?" Tam bent down and offered him the blue liquid in his hand. "Poor fellow. Today, Sarah bullied you again. Here, drink this." He listened and quickly drank the liquid with the thought, "This must be like some kind of miracle cure. Thank goodness." Tam saw him drink so nonchalantly and was a bit surprised. What's this? You just drank it like that today?" Hearing this, his face immediately turned pale and he coughed up a large mouthful of blood. He painfully clutched his throat, filled with fear, feeling like his throat was burning. "It hurts so much, it's so hot. Is it poison?" Seeing him about to die so pointlessly, Sodera was worried. "Oh dear, are you dying? But I want you to die by my hand," Tam calmly said. "It seems he's in pain, but I don't think he'll die." It seems this formula also failed. He had just died, and now having to endure the pain from this body, he felt helpless. Why do I have to suffer like this? At this moment, the door opened, and outside a troop of soldiers appeared with a loud announcement. "Demon King Pig Kandun has returned after the hero hunt." Seeing the pig had returned, Sodera was overjoyed. "Oh, father, you're back." Tam was also surprised it was earlier than expected. Currently, he clutched himself and observed what was in front of him. "What, father? Seeing the pig's horns and sturdy arms, he quickly realized it was Demon King Pig Kandun. As soon as the pig stepped in, he heard the sounds of his painful groans and was annoyed. Why do I hear these disgusting sounds? He was surprised that person was the Demon King, so Dara quickly put all the blame on him. I apologize, father. It was him who caused trouble. The pig didn't care, tightly gripping Tame's neck and lifting him up, scolding. It is truly shameful when the whimpers of the weak echo throughout the walls of the Demon King's castle. So Dara in pain. I apologize, father. Tame was also in no less pain. I apologize. Please have mercy, father. He still sat there, clutching his throat, realizing the relationship. If those two were his siblings, then this Demon King was his father. The pig's face was full of fierce intent, wanting to raise his leg and kick him to death. I only want to hear two sounds in my castle. The sound of a great demon being born. Seeing the pig about to kick him to death, he was terrified and realized, wait! Pig scowled and continued. And the sound of an honorable death, saying that he immediately stomped down hard. He was pressed down hard accordingly. The entire castle echoed with a piercing scream. All three lay on the ground, in pain, groaning. Pig didn't care about his children, and immediately left. He lay on the floor, covered in blood, coughing incessantly. This time, he could immediately confirm. So I have indeed transmigrated to another world, but I'm the son of this bastard. He gritted his teeth and cursed repeatedly. Damn it, out of everyone, it just had to be the Demon King. Ko La's memories were evoked. Ko La cried continuously, calling out, Mom! So Dara stabbed my eye with a fork. The mother worriedly comforted. Oh no, that shouldn't hurt too much. Ko La continued to cry. Tame put poison in my food. The mother heard that and said, Then you should pay them back like a demon. Ko La was weak and didn't dare. If I do that, so Dara and Tame will kill me. The mother continued to advise. Then you just need to kill them first before you die. But Ko La was stunned upon hearing this. The mother recounted Pig's achievement. Your father killed his 12 siblings and became the great Demon King. What I mean is, if someone tries to kill you, you should kill them first. As soon as she finished speaking, the mother pulled out an old knife and stabbed fiercely towards Ko La. The mother embraced Ko La and smiled. You must kill like a demon. Ko La screamed in pain. Mom, the mother asked one more time. Do you understand now? Ko La. After the nightmare ended, he immediately woke up. The girl beside him coldly asked, Are you awake, sir? He breathed rapidly, thinking, This is the body I transmigrated into. Those were Ko La Pig's memories, but the wounds on his body have fully recovered. Ko La possesses truly remarkable recovery ability. The girl turned away and sighed. You slept a bit long this time. Master Ko La, it's almost time for the family meal. Please wake up. He tiredly replied, Okay. This girl is Ko La's personal servant, Jane. Ko La is much more timid than his siblings, so he is always looked down upon. Previously, she always looked down on Ko La. Please wear that outfit for this party. Ko La was helpless. But I heard Tame's servant dresses him. Jane contemptuously turned away. Then you can dress me. Ko La was flustered. No, I'll dress myself. Another time, Jane said, Today's task is washing the blankets. Ko La was confused. But this is your job. My servant is supposed to do this. Yet another time, Jane casually slept on Ko La's bed, making Ko La helpless. That's my spot. Jane even showed such contempt that she sent her puppet to observe Ko La. Returning to the present, he was properly dressed, and looked over at Jane, unable to help, but inwardly curse. Ko La, this kid. How could he let himself, the son of the Demon King, be threatened by a mere servant? Thinking of this, he couldn't help but frown and clench his fists. That's right. Keola had been helplessly bullied all this time. Life here is no different from his previous life. Those who look weak will die. After a while, he arrived at the family dining area. Seeing him arrive late, Pig showed his displeasure. "You're late, Keola." He seemed oppressed by Pig's presence. His presence is truly overwhelming. I guess there's a reason he's the Demon King. He went to his place and sat down. I apologize for being late. As soon as he sat down, Sodera greeted him with full enthusiasm by throwing a knife into his leg. The sudden attack caused him pain, but he tried to hold it back. Sodera sneered, "You look so listless. Eat more." Even the servants could laugh at him, making him furious, wondering what would happen if they discovered who he was. He tried hard to hold it in. I have to hold it in. Then continued eating. "Okay. Thank you." As soon as he put the food in his mouth, a wave of pain immediately struck, making him realize, this isn't food, it's poison. Tame saw that he had eaten and turned to him smiling and saying, "That soup was made specially for you. It tasted very good, didn't it?" Though uncomfortable, he tried his best to tolerate it and replied, Yeah," looking at the 3 demons in front of him. "These demons, they're not my family. I won't let them bully me anymore. I have to find a way to deal with this. I've always wanted to achieve something by myself." With that mindset, I was recognized as the strongest map designer in a game. But when I stepped into real life, I couldn't do anything. I never want to die. Such a helpless death again. His eyes filled with determination. Then he picked up the plate of poisoned food in his hand and called to Sodera. "You try the soup Tame made too." As soon as he finished speaking, he threw the bowl of soup straight at Sarah's face, then pulled out the knife from his leg. "Tame, let me give you the gift Sarah gave me." He threw the knife and stabbed Tame hard in the shoulder. His rebellion made even the eating pig look up in utter surprise. He put his hands on the table and called out, "Father, why do demons have to gather and have a happy family meal together? From now on, let's eat like individuals." As soon as he finished speaking, he flipped the dining table. His outburst of madness astonished all 3 of them. He was so enraged, he couldn't stay calm enough to see who was superior. "You demons!" After venting his anger, he immediately left, feeling relieved inside, a truly good feeling. Seeing his unusual behavior today, Jane was worried. What's wrong with him? He remembered himself being beaten to a pulp by Pig. Even though I flipped the table and was beaten within an inch of my life, I fully recovered in just a short time. I can feel an unusual source of power. It seems I really am the son of the Demon King. I wonder how strong this ability really is. Jane started speaking in a reminding tone again. "Master Keola, it's almost time for the demon ability lesson. You need to hurry." Before Jane could finish speaking, he interrupted. "I know. Stop ordering me around like that." Jane was frozen in fear by him. Why is he acting like that? He sank back into his thoughts. A lesson on demon abilities. According to Keola's memories, this was one of the worst things he experienced, but there's no reason to avoid it. All the students had gathered fully. Only Solera and Tame were missing, because he had upset them earlier. The teacher spoke up. "Lady Sarah and young Master Tame will not be joining us today. It seems everyone else is present." Yes. He looked at the group of students around him and immediately identified them as, "These guys, I remember them from Keola's memories." Keola was often bullied by them. Memory, our flashback. I really can't do this. Seeing Keola not doing it, he immediately made a move. It seems there's no other way. Anyway, this is a lesson. Keola was then beaten to a pulp by him repeatedly screaming, "It hurts so much. They are true demons among the demon race." Those who enjoyed bullying Keola as if it were their game. When Keola was being bullied, Sodera stepped forward and said, "Hey, aren't you being too easy on him? There's no need to hold back at all. Show us your true ability. I allow it." Upon hearing this, he felt incredibly hyped up. "Thank you, Lady Sarah." "Then shall we begin?" Keola painfully pleaded. "Please stop. I don't want to fight. Please stop." End of memory. Flashback. Returning to the present, he angrily gritted his teeth and asserted, "Keola wasn't weak at all. He just had a soft heart. But now everything is different. I will use this power correctly." The teacher opened the student roster and asked who was sparring in the previous class. Rut quickly said it was Keola and him. Root mocked him. "Ah, I should call you Master Keola, but I apologize. Okay." He was furious and glared at him sideways. "This bastard!" The teacher heard that and continued to have them spar. Good. Then let's proceed with the second practice match. The other students waited to see his humiliation. Looks like young Master Keola is going to get beaten half to death again today. Go easy on him. Rut, or the young master will cry again. Seeing the students mocking him, he took note of them. Rut looked at him excitedly. Kang Chi-yu and I are similar in many ways. Even in my past life, I had no money or power, and everyone looked down on me, but all that is in the past. Seeing Kang Chi-yu's terrifying power, Rut wet his pants in fear. What? What is this Kang Chi-yu has this much magic? The students seeing his magic burst, discussed among themselves. What is that magic power? Is it real? Rut couldn't move. I can't move because of the pressure. He rushed towards him. I'll go easy on you today. Take this one blow. As soon as he finished speaking, he punched Rut, knocking out several teeth and instantly knocking him out. Shocking the students, what? Rut was completely unable to react. The teacher was also scared pale. Is he dead? Rut, that his teeth are scattered on the ground, he can't move. He then asked the teacher, "Didn't you say you should continue teaching?" The teacher was called and replied fearfully, "Yes." He smiled and asked, "Shouldn't you continue teaching?" The teacher was petrified. Should I? Jane, witnessing this scene from behind, was also surprised. Master Kang Chi-yu. He's clearly very different. What? He fell back into his own thoughts. A class on demon power. According to Keola's memory, this is one of the worst things he experienced, but there's no reason to avoid it. At the Demon King Heo Kandun's castle, a voice echoed, "I cannot forgive him. That bastard, he dared to throw poisoned soup in my face." Tame advised, "Sodera, calm down and focus on healing first. You don't have Kang Chi-yu's insane regeneration ability." Sodera was furious. That's weird too. Why does only he have that level of regeneration? Tame quickly realized something. It seems Kang Chi-yu has undergone a change, remembering the scene where he flipped the table and declared he would eat separately, which astonished all three. Heo couldn't help but chuckle, which drew Tame's attention. Even if only for a moment, Father laughed for the first time in our lives. Sodera was jealous. I can't believe Father laughed at something like Keola. Tame also affirmed, "Yeah, that's not normal." Seeing Tame speak in such a confusing way, Sodera was curious. "So what do you mean, Tame?" Tame replied, "Sodera, you might rather die than shake hands with me." But Sodera was startled when Tami proposed. "What do you say about us temporarily stopping our fighting and dealing with Kang Chi-yu together?" Sodera smirked and quickly agreed. That's not a bad idea. The two shared the same goal. Let's kill Kang Chi-yu before he catches father's eye again. He was startled during class, seeing the image of a furious demon displayed by the teacher. All right, this is the previous Demon King Tak Kandun. He looked dismissive. What he looks really cunning. The teacher continued to explain the history. Master Tak was stronger than anyone else at that time. He only passed away because of the despicable plots hatched by the Heavenly Alliance. Since then, profiteering organizations have gathered around our kingdom, he thought. The organizations surrounding the Demon Kingdom. They're still imprinted in Kyo-La's memory. Just because of those bastards. I can't even leave this castle. Damn it, I didn't realize I would have to live here forever. His eyes showed annoyance. The teacher continued to explain. With the large Heavenly Alliance as their base, those bastards are preparing to attack this kingdom. Therefore, to help the Demon King wipe out those bastards, put all your heart into the combat class. All the students shouted in unison. Yes, for the honor of the demon race. He paid close attention, not saying a word. After class, he and Jine stood on the fortress looking into the distance with determination. I must find a way out of here. If I stay here, I could be killed at any moment. He asked Jane in surprise. Jane, you said father is leaving in 3 days, right? Jane affirmed. Yes, that's correct. He spoke again. Do you know, this castle has a weakness? Seeing him suddenly stand up, Jane was confused. Suddenly, he quickly analyzed. There's no map design that utilizes the terrain for battle effectively. Those bastard organizations are using the neglected territories around us to attack. So I'll take advantage of the time before his next campaign to map the entire area. So father can eliminate all of them. We'll help him, he thought triumphantly. All right, now it's time to officially begin my escape. He quickly realized. This is different from reality. That means I can create the map however I want. He turned and ordered Jane. Jane, create a secret office in the castle basement immediately. Jane was suddenly ordered around and was surprised. What an office! He stated his purpose. I need a place to work in secret where father doesn't know. Somewhere, Hyo was in a bath, healing his wounds. He said darkly, You can't fool me, Kyo-La. I need to confirm it before it's too late. Back to Kang Chi, he was bewildered and helpless. What is this? Jane was confused. It's the office you requested, sir. He was angry. What kind of ridiculous office is this for the son of the great Demon King? Jane was upset about having to do it in secret. This is all I could manage. He gritted his teeth and spoke each word clearly. Put some soul into it. Put some soul into it. Seeing Jane scared, he reconsidered. I need to be aggressive with her sometimes. Jane thought deeply. He's scary. He's not like the Kyo-La I knew, but he's cooler. Jane was falling into a love spell. He pointed and ordered, What are you gawking at? Get me coffee. Jane immediately ran off at the command. At once. Coffee. Coffee. At this moment, Jane stopped confused. But what is coffee? Suddenly, Hyo walked up and called out, Jane, what are you doing in the basement without Kyo-La? Seeing Hyo, she was scared. The great Demon King, Hyo Kandun. Hyo asked curiously, Where is Kyo-La? Jane trembled when asked. About that, Hyo growled. Answer me. Jane thought fearfully. Kang Chi, you told me to keep it a secret. Back in his secret office, he was seriously drawing the map. This is interesting. Maybe I got lucky. This world is quite similar to the game. I think I'm happiest when creating maps. Suddenly, there was a noise outside the door. The door quickly exploded open, leaving him stunned. Hyo walked in, radiating killing intent. I didn't expect you to create a secret office without reporting it to me. He was covered in sweat, terrified. How did Heo? Heo lunged and punched him hard in the stomach, then growled, "If you want to kill me, don't hide like a coward. Just come straight at me." He coughed up blood, but managed to say, "Father." The pain shot through every vein in his body. This level of pain is completely different. Is this the power of the great demon king? I'll really die. Thinking this, he took out the map he had analyzed and showed it to Heo. "Father, look at this." Heo didn't care. "What am I looking at?" He trembled and replied, "The outskirts of this castle are too disadvantageous for our war against the alliances. If we change the terrain as I've drawn." Heo looked closely at the map he had drawn and analyzed. He continued, "It will be a great help for the upcoming battle." Heo was startled and withdrew his hand from his stomach, causing Kang Chi-yu to collapse to the ground in pain. Heo asked, "Then why did you set up a private office?" He held his wound and trembled as he explained, "If I had told you I wanted to help, you wouldn't have allowed me. So I wanted to show you this, after I perfected it." Heo listened, but said nothing. He affirmed resolutely, "As the son of the great demon king, I want to contribute to destroying the Heavenly Alliance." Their eyes met. He's not afraid. Does he want to die talking like that to the great demon king? Heo asked in surprise, "How long do you think it will take?" Hearing this, he was a bit stunned. "Excuse me." Heo pointed at the map and asked again, "How many days do you think you need to finish your map?" He happily held up 5 fingers. 5 is enough, he thought gleefully. So even Heo understands my map. Heo turned and said, 5 days. The Heavenly Alliance will reorganize in 3 days. By then, your map will be useless." He was triumphant. "No, not 5 days. I can complete it in 5 hours. Heo was slightly startled to hear this. He held up the map confidently. "And within 3 days, we can finish the construction before the upcoming battle with the Heavenly Alliance. So please, Father, let me command the plan." Heo remained silent for a moment, then smiled and left with a nod of approval. "All right. Finish your map first." Heo threatened, "If you're just all talk, I'll tear you apart along with that map." He smiled and replied with certainty, "Yes, of course." With that, Heo left. He thought painfully. It worked. Suddenly, he felt something and vomited a mouthful of fresh blood. He was angry. That demon. He intended to kill his own son if he was useless. Jane saw that he had completely convinced Heo and admired him. Kang Chi-yu successfully convinced the great demon king. Seeing her standing frozen like a statue made him furious. "What are you doing?" "Jane, don't just stand there. Take me to the infirmary immediately." "Understood." As promised, I completed the map in 5 hours. The forces in the Demon King's castle gathered and began large-scale construction. Mages created illusions outside the construction area and altered the terrain so they wouldn't be discovered. It was as if my new map was being created in the game. Everything went according to my plan. At the Heavenly Alliance's gathering point inside a tent, a panicked voice rang out. "What, they're changing the terrain around the castle?" That person was the Alliance leader Hermerson. He affirmed, "Yes, we've discovered they fooled us with illusion magic." Hermerson pondered. What are they up to?" The other person asked. "Should we attack and stop them?" Hermerson stopped them. "No, it's too late for that now. It's useless. In 3 days, the strongest army formed in Talua will arrive. Talua has begun creating the Tan Kan, their strongest army from many years ago. And now, the elite army is finally complete." Hermerson was smug. "They can't defeat the strongest elite army, prepared over decades in just 3 days. Great Demon King Heo will be defeated." Commander Khan rode a dragon to the Heavenly Alliance's position. "Everyone push forward. In 2 days, we will reach the Demon King's castle. In the name of Tan Kan, the era of the Demon King, which has lasted for thousands of years, will finally end." Charge burn down. The Demon King's castle. Advance. Seeing the commander riding a dragon flying above the girl below, continuously admired him. Commander Khan's leadership is truly extraordinary. The guy beside her called out. Commander Frey, will we succeed in hunting down the Demon King? Frey affirmed, yes, we the Tan. Khan army are vastly different from other alliances. We will ensure the great Demon King is eliminated. At the tower where Hyo resided, Heo sat on his throne, pondering Kang Chi-yu's ability. Kang Chi-yu didn't exaggerate about the map. I must admit, it's not perfect, but my body is nearing its limit. I can't be picky. Finally, tomorrow will be the day. I end everything with the Heavenly Alliance. The mages standing on the fortress constantly urged, there's not enough time. Move them faster, faster. He stood inside, observing the outside through the window. It's going according to plan. He thought. This is different from creating a game map. I didn't expect I could actually change the ground as I wished. I just need to wait for the battle between the demons and the Heavenly Alliance. And tomorrow is the big day. The next day, the day of the decisive battle, the Tan Khan army arrived. Soldiers cheered, hooray, Tan Khan has arrived, Tan Khan. The strongest army, hooray, Tan Khan. Hermerson was grateful. Khan, thank you for coming all this way. Khan also politely replied, the Tan Khan army is ready. Let's go defeat the Demon King. Hermerson was excited. Good, I agree. Let's head to the Demon King's castle right away. Khan shouted to rally the spirits. Tan Khan, let's go. Bring victory to Talua. Suddenly, a green dot appeared under the ground. Hermerson was confused. Huh? Khan was also surprised. What's happening? Khan announced to everyone. It's a surprise attack. Everyone, form a defensive formation. The green light exploded. Everyone shouted, Get back! Get back! Khan and the Tan. Khan army defended, observing it. That is, Hermerson was also surprised and couldn't believe it. No way. In front of everyone, a dark figure appeared. Seeing the horns and ears, everyone recognized him. Heo Kandun. How is he here? Before this, Kang Chi-yu had explained his plan in detail to Heo. Father, I have removed the barrier focusing the Heavenly Alliance's surveillance magic on us. Now you can use teleportation magic without them seeing you. Heo was confused. Teleport into the Heavenly Alliance's base. Sodera stepped forward to stop him. Wait. Father, don't tell me you're going to teleport into the enemy base. Tammy also disagreed. It's too dangerous even for you, Father, here. Heo was angry. Are you doubting the Demon King's power? Sodera denied it. No. Tame was just as worried. Father, you haven't fully recovered yet. Heo ordered. Silence. I will make the final decision. Tomorrow, I will start at the Heavenly Alliance's base. At this moment, Heo was truly in the heart of the enemy. I will kill all of you. Khan quickly retreated and cursed. Bastard, you ambushed us. But we'll make you regret coming here. We are. Tan Khan, Khan ordered the Tan Khan army to launch a full-scale attack. They quickly attacked Heo, but a large explosion occurred. Back at the castle, he stood on high ground, observing. Good, I've gathered all the forces, he said loudly. Now all preparations are complete. Everyone charge. The demons below roared at his command. On the Heavenly Alliance's side, the people were constantly defending. Someone quickly realized the Demon King's castle forces are charging in. But it seems it's too late. The demons on the ground rushed forward to attack the Heavenly Alliance. What? They're coming up from under the ground. We're being raided by demons. Stop them from reaching the Heavenly Alliance. He on this side clenched his hands nervously. Everything is according to plan. Chicha. At this moment, Sodera and Tame arrived. Keola. You're here. I don't know what made you do something like this. but things won't go your way. Tame added, It's a pity, Keola. If you hadn't gone too far, I wouldn't have done this. Seeing Sodera and Tame ambushing him, he was surprised. Sodera Tame. Tame swung the whip in his hand towards him. Die here. There's no place for you. He was immediately pierced through the abdomen by the whip. Blood poured out, soaking his clothes. He screamed in pain. Tame called out, Come on, Sodera! Sodera charged straight in with her sword. Even if you have insane regeneration speed, if I chop off your head, it's useless. His head was quickly chopped off by Sodera. Seeing him like this, both of them laughed maniacally. Even without his head, he was still conscious. So this is the outcome. His headless body fell from the fortress. Both body and head fell rapidly to the ground. Under the gaze of Sodera and Tame, his body was bruised, but his head was still conscious. Sodera said smugly, Finally chopped off Keola's head. Tame was equally excited. Now let's go help father. Suddenly, Sodera swung her hand, and a hidden dagger appeared. Surprising, Hieme Sodera forcefully stabbed Tame, found the weak point. Tame was attacked unexpectedly and was confused. Erg, Sodera! Sodera quickly retreated. As expected, you're quick-witted. Tame held his wound in pain. That's Mother's weapon. We're forbidden from using it. Sodera didn't care. We're demons. Who cares about rules? Weapons are made to be used. Angrily, she pointed the dagger at Tame. If I kill you here, there will only be me left, right? Then I'll be the only heir left. Sodera said this, her smile becoming maniacal. Tame gritted his teeth and growled, Sodera, I'll kill you. Saying this, Tame quickly charged towards Sodera. Sodera didn't back down and charged straight towards him. From the moment you were stabbed by this dagger, it was over, Zog. He below watched the fierce battle on the fortress with just his head. He asked himself, how can they be so wicked? They're exactly as I imagined. Finally, he completely lost consciousness. But suddenly a crack appeared under the ground, causing his body to fall. Someone grabbed his head and body and pulled him away. The person reattached his head. It was none other than Jane. She held him tightly, her body trembling with fear. On this side, the demons charged towards the Heavenly Alliance through the secret passage. We'll take a detour and attack the Heavenly Alliance from behind. The Heavenly Alliance stood guard there. Stupid demons, we already know all your tactics. The demons were surprised. They knew already. The Heavenly Alliance attacked the demons. Charge. Don't let any of them survive. The demons didn't falter. Whether they know or not, we don't care. Fight for the honor of the demons. Anyway, there's no turning back. The dragon concentrated fire and sprayed it directly towards the demons. Heo quickly appeared to block it. Dragon's breath. It's been a while. Heo punched the dragon's head hard. The dragon immediately died. Khan ran over. Damn it! He killed Phyllis. Khan ordered, Everyone unleash all your attacks. The demons quickly rushed towards the Heavenly Alliance. Heo was hit by attacks, making Khan wonder. Did we take him down? Someone shouted. Not yet. Heo's body now seemed to burn with even greater intensity. Heo Kandun had fully entered his Demon King state. Khan was terrified. That form, he's transforming just like in the Frico book. Frico's face was pale. That's the Demon King's final form. This person trembled. Commander my body, Frico ordered. Everyone focus. Don't let fear control you. Khan was furious. Damn it, even my body can't stop shaking. It's only natural everyone else would be too scared to move. Heo didn't say a word and thought. The only weakness in Keola's plan is that even if we can instantly get our forces to the center of the Heavenly Alliance's base, we'll have no way to escape. That's the only dark point in this plan. But I didn't raise this issue as the Demon King. The Demon King doesn't need to worry about finding a way to escape. Perhaps Keola also considered that. However, right now that's not important. I just need to kill all of them here. Khan shouted, announcing, "He's going all out in his final form. We have to risk our lives and give it everything." Hio's eyes blazed, making the battle chaotic. Back to Kang Chi-yu. Underground, Jane was trembling uncontrollably, holding him tightly. Jane pleaded, "Please, please, please." She recalled earlier when he had scoffed, "Ugh, gross." Jane was confused. "When will you use it, sir?" His hand had come off. He said in pain, "Jane, it hurts. Reattach it quickly." His hand was put back in place. Jane was scared to look. "Is it done?" His body was completely back to normal. As expected, it worked again. At this moment, he decided to go all the way. "Good, next will be my head." Jane was terrified. "Your head, sir," he told Jane. "Jane, I need to be sure I can do that with my head." Jane was scared. "Are you insane?" He put his hand on Jane's shoulder and affirmed, "Because my head might be in more danger. We'll do it gradually. Cut it off carefully." Jane cried out, "I don't want to." After a while, unexpectedly, his head was reattached as before. That much testing is enough. "Now go to Sodera's servant and tell them exactly what I told you. Say it as naturally as possible." Jane was startled, then told Sodera's servant, "It's true. Keola is plotting to kill Lady Sodera in this battle." Sodera's servant was surprised. "What?" Jane whispered. "He's going to do it, while the Demon King is busy fighting the Heavenly Alliance." Sodera's servant was furious. "That bastard! How dare he plan something like that?" Jane crossed her arms and sighed. "I think this would be a good opportunity for Lady Sodera to chop off Keola's head. It will definitely kill him no matter how great his regeneration speed is." Back in the present, Jane clenched her teeth in anger. "Damn it! It's happening just as that insane plan of yours predicted. But if you die here, what does it mean, you idiot?" Suddenly, his voice rang out asking, "Who are you calling an idiot?" Jane was startled. "Keola." His body slowly recovered. "I really thought I would die. I guess my regeneration speed decreases if I'm cut with a weapon containing magic power. But it doesn't matter, because I survived." He was happy. Everything is still going according to my plan. Seeing him alive, Jane's eyes welled up with tears. "Hick!" She rushed and hugged him tightly, expressing her worry. "Master Kang Chi-yu, I thought you were really dead." Being hugged by a girl so suddenly made him blush. "What the hell is this?" He quickly pushed Jane away. "Stop, I'm alive, so there's still a lot to do." He decided to free Jane. "Now I request to break the contract between me, Kang Chi-yu Kandun, and my maid Jane, and grant her freedom." His sudden action surprised Jane. Master Keola, after dissolving the contract, he quickly turned away and said, "The contract is gone now. Live the life you want," saying that he showed a happy smile which confused Jane. After finishing with Jane, he left. Jane remembered when Keola was little and had suggested to her that instead of being a maid from now on, she would be his friend. Thinking of this, tears unconsciously fell from her eyes. "Hick!" Jane cried and ran, requesting, "Master Keola, take me with you too." Seeing the girl cling to him like a leech made him annoyed. Don't follow me." Jane insisted on not letting go of him. "No, I'm going with you," he said angrily. "You'll get in my way." Back to the battle between Hio and Kon. Kon was covered in injuries, but his mouth was still cursing Heo. Heo Kandun, you're a demon. Heo's arm seemed to have been severed, but Heo acted as if nothing was wrong. Surprising Khan. How can he still stand in that state? He's truly worthy of the name. Great Demon King. Khan was furious. Damn it! He was frustrated internally. It's frustrating, but I can't defeat him. No one can. No human can stop this monster. Seeing Khan. Not making a move confused Heo. Then he looked at the Heavenly Alliance soldiers. The enemy is almost completely wiped out. At this moment, Heo looked at the demons and saw them scattered, and my own soldiers too. Sodera Tame Keo La. It seems they won't appear. No. This was originally a battle just for me, and this is also the last of my remaining magic power. Now everything will end here. As soon as he thought this, Heo quickly erupted. Back to Kangchi. He and Jane were running for their lives to find an escape route. Finally found the exit. This is where I can escape the surveillance of the Demon King's castle. Once I get there, I'll be free. As he thought this, he smiled radiantly with anticipation. Suddenly, Jane ran out and blocked him. Master Kangchi Yu, calm down. He was startled and stopped. What? In front of them, a magic attack appeared targeting both of them, but Jane used a shield to block it. Surprising him, what is this? Jane could now affirm her thoughts. In front of me, I smell a strong scent of blood. The Heavenly Alliance members who had secretly hidden inside the Demon King's castle saw him and couldn't help but remark, Heo Kandun, looks like he's a caring father, finding a way to save his son. I knew we should hide here as a precaution, then he was annoyed to see them. Damn it. It seems they've prepared an ambush in the secret passage. That means they know everything about the structure of this place. These people told each other, we cannot allow anyone with the Demon King's bloodline to survive. Kill him. As soon as they finished speaking, all three attacked him. Jane desperately blocked them and advised him, Master, I'll hold them off, you escape quickly. But he flatly refused. Huh. But what can you do alone? Jane blocked attacks and reminded him, I'm your maid, Master Kangchi Yu. My priority is to protect you. He remembered Jane's weak abilities and wasn't sure about leaving her alone. As far as I remember, Jane can only use simple defensive magic and can barely use offensive magic. That means Jane is willing to sacrifice her life so I can survive. Seeing him still hesitating and not leaving made Jane angry. What are you still doing, Keola Run? Suddenly he walked over, put his hand on her shoulder and said, Jane, how dare you act cool towards me? As soon as he finished speaking, he threw Jane backwards, stunning her completely. What are you doing, sir? He warned. If you want to follow me, at least don't die before I do. Are you messing with me? Jane was dumbfounded. What? These people saw him come forward and shouted, Stupid! Now you have nowhere to run. Mid-level magic is enough to deal with Keola, the weakest in the Demon King's castle. Kill him, saying that those people launched their attack. He was annoyed, thinking Keola was always timid before, so he didn't dare to use his power. That's why his true abilities haven't been revealed yet. That means everything they know about me is wrong. Seeing him suddenly become so strong left Jane confused. How is Master Kangchi Yu? These people were also surprised. No way! His magic power was supposed to be low level. As soon as they finished speaking, he rushed forward and slammed one of them to the ground. His eyes were full of threat as he asked, Is that right? Looks like you need to recheck your sources. The Heavenly Alliance guy he had pinned down couldn't resist and was scared. Wait! But he didn't care and directly eliminated him. He quickly fell unconscious. Jane witnessed this scene and was incredibly surprised. No way. He defeated a mage from the Heavenly Alliance with his magic power, At this moment, the two guys behind spoke up. No way, you're supposed to be a weakling with no fighting power. Hearing that, he clarified once more. I already told you your information was wrong. Both of them attacked together. If that's the case, then we have no other choice. Quick use light field. They thought. Light field will allow us to use all our magic power in each attack. If we fail, we accept death. And saying this, they used light field. Jane was worried and ran over, no master. Get back quickly. Both of them were quickly held by the light field. His body couldn't move, infuriating him. What my body can't move, Jane in front took the full force of the attack. At this moment, she was in extreme pain and called out, Master, I'm sorry I can't protect you anymore. These two guys were panting and overjoyed. It worked. The blow was perfect. After holding both of them still, he pulled out a sword and wanted to kill him with one strike. This is your end. The guy behind, due to greed, quickly stopped him. Wait, don't you think we deserve a little reward after working so hard? This guy was confused. What? He was filled with dirty greed towards Jane. Playing with this girl for a bit should be fun. She was angry and cursed. Bastard! I knew you guys would treat us demons like objects. Seeing her talking so much, he pointed his sword and threatened, Shut up! I'll come play with you soon. Seeing the true nature of these guys, just as bad as the demons, made him change his thinking. So it turns out even humans in this world treat others like objects. He, the human mage, approached, wanting to finish him off, but first, let's kill this favorite son of the Demon King. He quickly thought of a plan. Damn it! The exit is right there. I can't believe I'll die like this. I was so close. He, the human mage, swung his sword down and shouted, Die! Jane screamed in fear. Master Kang Chi-yu. Suddenly, he was startled. What is this feeling? Something is coming. At this moment, an image of Hyo appeared in his subconscious, leaving him confused. He was confused. Did he finish his battle? Then my plan is ruined. While thinking this, Hyo suddenly spoke. Listen here, Ko-la, I've spent my whole life fighting and thinking a lot. Suddenly Hyo confessed, which confused him. What is father saying? Hyo continued. Sodera, she doesn't know how to think for her fellow demons. Tame has no ambition to become the Demon King. He quickly denied it. What do they have to do with it? I want to know why you were able to get here. Hyo replied. The Demon King possesses a special ability that is to pass down his magic power to his successor before death. Hearing Hyo say this surprised him. Huh. He spoke his thoughts. Although it was only for a short time, I realized you are the most suitable candidate to become the true Demon King. He quickly refused. What are you saying, father? You're wrong. Hyo didn't care whether he wanted it or not. He spoke, proclaiming, I, Demon King Hyo Kandun, will pass down all remaining magic power in my body to my son, Kang Chi-yu Kandun. Hyo's magic power gradually entered his body, making him panic. Stop. What are you doing? Hyo hoped silently. Kang Chi-yu, my son, don't be too sad about my death. Become a true Demon King, all right? Back on the battlefield, Hyo's head was chopped off. By Khan Frey was surprised. Hyo, Kandun, the Demon King is finally dead. At this moment, she noticed Khan and General Khan had sacrificed himself to do it. Frey was deeply shocked at Khan's death. A general. The soldiers were also surprised. What Hyo Kandun is dead. They rejoiced, shouting, The Demon King is dead. Hyo Kandun is dead. We won. We won. Hyo's eyes gradually lost their light. Back on this side, after receiving Hyo's power, he exploded with magic power, causing the holy light spear that had imprisoned him to disappear. The light on Jane's body also vanished. She was astonished. The holy light spear was neutralized by young Master Kang Chi-yu's magic power. She called out, Young Master Ko-la, Seeing him suddenly erupt with such powerful energy scared them and made them retreat. Why did his magic power suddenly surge like this? He smiled. Ha ha ha. What's this? Hio is dead. My plan succeeded beautifully. He was happy. Excellent. My plan worked. These two guys were also at their limit. Damn it, I'm out of magic power. We have to leave here immediately. He stepped forward, pushing Jane away. Get out of the way. Jane. His body was currently filled with power. I can feel the eternal darkness. This is the power Hio gave me. The two guys were scared and shouted, "Ah, demon, don't come near us!" Hearing them call him that made him confused. Demon? What did you guys just say to Jane? Saying that he shot magic power straight towards them, then punched them angrily to a pulp. You guys are the demons, not me. Both of them were thrown against the wall and fell unconscious in pain, feeling the power flowing through his body. He couldn't help but think. This is Hio's power, but it's also putting immense pressure on my body. I can't fully use such a vast power yet. After dealing with those two, he asked Jane. Can you still walk? She immediately replied, Yes, young master. Hearing this, he said, Then let's leave here. Jane followed his instructions. Yes, young master. As they left the basement, he felt grateful to Hio. Anyway, thank you, Hio. Thanks to you, I was able to escape this fortress. Both of them left the Demon King's castle together. Looking at everything around him, he couldn't help but feel exhilarated. I'm free. Unable to contain his joy, he burst out laughing. Ha ha ha! Now I can go wherever I want and live my own life. While thinking, suddenly, a light appeared from somewhere and enveloped him. Enveloped my body. What's happening? Jane was surprised. That light is teleportation magic. Being affected like this suddenly confused him. What? He reached out to Jane and said, Jane, grab my hand quickly. She was surprised. Then the teleportation magic took both of them to a place with beautiful water and scenery, where they crashed into a bush. Both of them looked around in confusion. Where is this? Both of them were startled and looked around at everything. Where am I? Jane was so surprised she couldn't speak. Ma Master Keola. And she opened her eyes wide and looked at him. I didn't know you could use teleportation magic. Kang Chi-yu denied it. It wasn't me. He explained that it was like a warning spell his father had cast on them, in case he died. Jane also suddenly realized, thinking back, all my wounds have healed. Kang Chi-yu speculated that perhaps they would have 3 days in the teleportation space, thinking about how they both fell unconscious and then were teleported here. I'm sure he deliberately did it so we could recover in a dangerous situation. Kang Chi-yu replied, So that's it. Jane was a bit surprised. So it's a teleportation and healing spell combined. Kang Chi-yu thought to himself, he cast such a spell on his children, seems he really was a parent. Both of them started walking, exploring the area. Jane walked behind. Silently confirmed, so that means the Demon King is dead. Kang Chi-yu calmly replied, He looked satisfied, feeling that everything was going according to plan. Jane stammered, Then, she spoke with a pleading voice, Please become the Demon King. Kang Chi-yu was surprised and turned back. Me? Jane had been watching him intently. I realized something after seeing your recent change, Master. You are the right person to be the true Demon King. Jane spoke with sincerity. So from now on, I will do my best in my role as a maid until you become the Demon King. Seeing her attitude, he didn't know what to say for a moment. She must have misunderstood something. Turning around, Kang Chi-yu sighed. All right, fine. Do as you wish. He temporarily didn't want to discuss this matter, as he was short on manpower. At this moment, Jane looked ahead at the road. Master, wait! A magnificent city was not far from them. This place, speaking of its history, they were about to enter the land of magic, where they cultivated talent for the sole purpose of defeating the demon race. A sign was hung high to inform anyone about to enter. Demon King Hyokandun has perished, so that the light of Talua may shine forever. Both of them were scared. Wait, why a place like this? Kang Chi-yu was worried. What if we get discovered here? He suggested, let's use transformation magic before they see us. The clothes on her body immediately changed, shifting to a style similar to the people in the city of Asan. Kang Chi-yu's clothes also changed. Let's do that, he thought to himself. Transformation magic is something even Ko La knew how to do. Both of them entered the city together. Kang Chi-yu wanted to understand the place he had arrived at better. Jane, tell me everything you know about this place. She nodded. Yes, looking at the city with its classical architecture, which was no less elegant and luxurious. Asan is a small island nation, located on the eastern border of Talua. The reason this place exists, it was blessed by a mythical creature named Waterg, living in the nearby sea, and many residents there began studying magic. This led to the natural development of magic, and they created many powerful mages. And the nation of Asan has a long-standing grudge. They have long been enemies of the demon race. The two sides once fought fiercely. It's one of the places under the leadership of Talua. According to Jane's information, he was a bit confused. I see. Why did Father send me to such a dangerous place? Jane moved closer to him and whispered, why did you say things like wanting to go to the capital of Sun? I need to get out. Kang Chi-yu replied. To escape, you must be prepared. Jane heard that and looked displeased. Kang Chi-yu calculated inwardly. To achieve my dream in this world, magic is very important. Seeing the group of mages sparring ahead, and in this country where everything is done through magic, windows are lifted. Magic is used even in the most ordinary buildings. Windows are teleported to other locations, and some buildings float in the air using magic. Looking at Asan, full of potential. If I can learn magic here, I can build the city I want, like in the game. Suddenly, Jane's stomach rumbled, because she had traveled a long distance to get here. Ah, my stomach. He looked at the food stall nearby. Shall we eat something first? She held the cake and seemed to hesitate a bit. This is a popular magic food in Asan. Her eyes sparkled. It's delicious. Kang Chi-yu also looked at the cake in surprise. Jane eagerly pointed to the shop next door. Let's try something else. He gave her a look, but she was too excited to notice. Let's try something else. Jane kept praising. Yeah, this is just as good. Kang Chi-yu gave Jane a helpless glance. Jane became even more excited, pointing everywhere. Try this and that too, Kang Chi. Yu felt annoyed. Maybe I should just leave her behind. He suggested, how about we also visit the magic bar? He sighed. All right, relax a bit. Lifting a glass of beer. Cheers to the defeat of the Demon King. Anyone want anything? Order freely. The men around cheered. Wow, Commander Frey is the best. Commander Sis, the hope of Asan. Hooray, Sis, the greatest mage. Hooray, Sis, of Tonkin. The two of them drank until they were almost drunk, blending into the cheerful crowd, shouting, Hooray, Sis! Hooray for free beer. Both of them had low alcohol tolerance, feeling relieved internally. Kang Chi-yu thought, taking a break isn't a bad idea, is it? Frey suddenly noticed. Both were drunk, arm in arm, clinking glasses. She became a little interested in them. What an interesting pair, huh? After the party, Kang Chi-yu was throwing up in a corner. Jane beside him kept complaining. Even if you're excited, you shouldn't drink that much, master. You can't even hold your liquor. She pouted. And it's also a festival celebrating the death of the Demon King. He turned around angrily and questioned her. You suggested we drink first. On the street, People rushed towards the center. Come out here. There's a new S-rank quest. Both of them followed their chatter. What but the Demon King is dead? Let's go see. Kang Chi-yu was confused. Why is it so noisy? Jane was stunned. I can't believe their quest. Until now, hunting the Demon King was the only S-rank quest. But now there's something else. Jane hastily pulled on Kang Chi-yu's clothes. Let's go see. In the center of Asen. Kang Chi-yu's image was displayed with an enticing reward. The people below were constantly discussing, no way I thought it was over. I didn't know the Demon King's child was still alive. These demons, both of them blended into the crowd. What? His image was displayed in large size right before his eyes. That's Master! Kang Chi-yu shouted in agitation. The Demon King is dead. How am I the one? Jane beside him was startled and confused. She quickly covered Kang Chi-yu's mouth. Ah, he's just too drunk. The surrounding mages looked smug. Isn't Kyo-la the weakest among the Demon King's children? Then it's easier. Looking closely at Kang Chi-yu's picture, this must be like a B-rank quest. I bet all the hunters will target his head. He cursed inwardly. Damn it, if I don't want to get caught, I need to hide well. Taking his frustration, he turned around and left. Let's go, Jane. She hesitated and said, Yes, but... Jane felt it was time to change how she addressed him. She followed behind and asked, what should I call you when we're outside? He suddenly went silent, thinking. He came up with a name. Call me Chu. Jane was confused. Chu. She looked at him puzzled. What kind of nickname is that? Kang Chi-yu looked at her impatiently. Just call me that. Both of them walked along the street discussing, so the news is really bad. I can't believe so many people know you're still alive. Kang Chi-yu said irritably. Let's just find what I need and get out of here. She replied seriously. Yes, Master Chu. At this moment, Frey happened to run into them. She struck up a conversation, her face flushed. Another S-rank quest. Really? He gave a brief nod. Jane behind. Quickly said, we just checked. Kang Chi-yu looked at Frey with suspicion. The people in the bar earlier called her the Hope of Aeson, so she's not ordinary. Frey continued, having another drink. The Demon King's son is alive. Monsters. He suppressed his anger. Well, Kyo-la was pretty weak, so it's not so bad. Jane quickly added, Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. Frey looked intently at the two of them. Put her arms around their shoulders, her body radiating killing intent. Jin and Kang Chi-yu were so startled they froze. It's not a big deal, you say, even if that bastard Demon King's son is still alive. Frey turned to look down at him. I've noticed for a while now. His eyes couldn't hide his panic when she said this. You two smell very strange. Jane was so tense she didn't dare breathe. Is she trying to catch us? Frey said, You two must be tired. Both were dripping with sweat. Clearly she's on to us. She chuckled. You travelers haven't bathed in a while. Want to stop by my place for a bath and a few more drinks? Both of them were momentarily stunned. They looked at each other confused. They excitedly shouted, Of course! Jane secretly sighed in relief. We're safe, in a house in Asen, submerged in a luxurious bath. Kang Chi-yu comfortably felt the warm spring water. Looking at the sweets prepared while bathing a delicious cup of tea and a snack. He had never seen before. He picked up a piece of cake and looked at it with satisfaction. Everything is made of magic. Looking up at the ceiling, he felt relaxed internally. I always wanted to live in a game. Closing his eyes, he enjoyed this moment. A dream come true. Kang Chi-yu felt that transmigration like this wasn't bad after all. On this side, she was blushing with embarrassment. Snap out of it, Han. If you're discovered here, you're dead. Frey bathed with her. The bath is great, right? Jane shyly agreed. Yeah, ha. Frey noticed Jane was uncomfortable. Why are you so anxious? People will think you're a demon who's been captured. Jane quickly put on a calm demeanor. Ha ha ha, not at all. Let's do a little magic. She released some magic towards Jane. Let me use a scent to help you relax. Jane immediately panicked. This is a holy element. This is the worst scent for demons. It makes us lose magic power, and the terrible thing Jane realized, it will break my disguise spell. Her eyes showed fear. Help me, Master Keola, she said. I thought everything would end once the Demon King died, that all my suffering. Jane covered her mouth to hide her panic. Don't say anything more. Just stop. I don't want to hear it. I want to leave. And she revealed I was destined to become a mage since I was born. So I won't. Before she could finish, he stood up. You can remember things, while Jane quickly fled from there. I have to go to the bathroom. See you later. Frey chuckled. Ah, she said smugly. She must not like the holy scent. In the hallway. That was close. Kang Chi-yu ran into Jane. The spring water is great, isn't it? I'm so relaxed. Jane, at this moment, was not in the mood to think about hot spring water. This is no time to relax and enjoy bathing. Jane panicked. My disguise spell almost broke. He asked in confusion. What do you mean? Jane spoke while looking around. Sis used holy scent. Demons will lose magic power just from it. If it's cast by a high-level mage. Kang Chi-yu pondered. Really, then that was close. He quickly turned around and said, Then I'll take another bath and then leave. Jane angrily grabbed him. What are you saying? Let's get out of here. Frey walked up from behind. Are you two leaving? She said. You said you'd have another round with me. Jane quickly explained. I did say that, but it's time for us to go. Frey held up an orb. Why aren't you curious about the food and drinks made with magic? Kang Chi-yu was curious. Magic food. Before either of them could react, she put her arm around Kang Chi-yu and pulled him along. He said eagerly, All right, one more round, one round. Sis was excited. Jane looked at him in fear. Master Keola! Outside the house, soldiers were surrounding it. They looked a bit disbelieving. Demons are here. Yes, after passing through the magic barrier, it's not demons, but the Demon King's child. The leader was excited. This is a once-in-a-thousand-years opportunity. We must capture them at all costs. Upstairs in the house, the three of them sat facing each other in the living room. How is it? Is it good? She asked. It's made of holy water. Kang Chi-yu reluctantly replied. It's good. Both were scared. Damn it, holy water. Feels like my body is burning. I was excited when she said it was food made with magic. Frey held a cup of holy water in her hand. She began to speak. Jane, we need to talk a little about my life. She started to tell her story. To kill the Demon King, I joined the Tankan army and trained by risking my life. She lifted her sleeve to reveal a large scar on her abdomen. I got this scar from a test back then. Both of them were surprised to see it, but I didn't see it earlier. She took off the mask over her eye. Ah, it's not easy to see, huh? She revealed the flaw in one eye. Actually, I lost one eye too. Both were even more startled, Frey confided. I used magic to hide it, because every day I see it, it feels like the pain of that day comes back to me. The fierce army leader was constantly yelling at the people kneeling before him. Get up! That's not enough to die. If you're alive, get up and think about killing the Demon King, he said fiercely. We are the army created with the sole objective of defeating the Demon King. Frey, at that time, was holding her lost eye, listening blankly to those brainwashing words. We must endure all pain and kill the Demon King. He kept shouting, Get up and shout! What is our objective? The phrase was deeply etched in her mind. Young sis with wounds that wouldn't heal. kill the Demon King. Sis said, I sacrificed my whole life to kill the Demon King and have these scars. What were you doing during that time? She went closer and pressed her body against Kang Chi-yu. What were you doing during that time? She pulled up his shirt. That's right, you must have scars like this too, right? Kang Chi-yu's body stiffened. She ran her hand over Kang Chi-yu's body. What? How is he so smooth? Not a single scar. Jine sat beside him, terrified. Master Ko-La, her hand was going higher and higher. Damn it, Sis's hand is touching me. It's erasing the disguise layer. She pressed close to his ear. Chew. You're a demon, aren't you? Kang Chi-yu was terrified. She knows. Suddenly, white rats rushed out. They bit the hands of the mages and transmitted electricity, causing them all to be shocked. Jane panicked. Ah, mages! Both were in chaos. Wait, did she bring us here as part of setting a trap? She calmly asked both of them. Everyone's here, right? The mage immediately shouted, Look at that eye. The message from the Heavenly Alliance was correct. He accused Sis. She hid her true nature. They all shouted, Sis is a demon who infiltrated Aeson. Jane and Kang Chi, you were surprised and stood up. What, bah? Kang Chi-yu realized at this moment. They came not because of us, but because of... Sis, she's a demon. She raised her staff and said, Yes, I have no reason to hide anymore. Frey confidently revealed, Actually, I am the one who revealed my identity. I am a demon. The mage immediately ordered, There's no reason to hesitate. She admitted it herself. Kill her. Her eyes became serious. I am an elite mage of the Tan-Kan. She pointed her staff at them. I am not someone a few Aeson mages can handle. Jane looked at him worriedly. Young Master Chu, get away quickly. Kang Chi-yu didn't expect things to turn out this way. I'm screwed. Magic from the staff had terrifying power that shattered the house. The smoke gradually cleared. Jane was a little scared, leaning into Kang Chi-yu. No, I can't believe such strong magic power. He widened his eyes, looking at Sis. She protected us. She asked, You two are also demons, right? You can't fool me. Frey turned and winked at them. I am the daughter of Demon King, Hyo Kandun. Frey Kandun, the woman with fiery red hair and a scar over one eye, introduced herself confidently. I am the daughter of Demon King, Hyo Kandun. Frey Kandun. Hearing this, both he and she were very surprised and shouted. What? Frey Kandun calmly said. We don't have much time, so I will show you using memory transfer magic. The consciousness of both gradually became hazy. Their faces tense, still unsure of what was happening. Suddenly, a scene like a film reel appeared before their eyes. Both were seeing the memory of Frey Kandun. The person wearing a hood covering their face happily said, Finally, it's successful. On the ground was a little girl with red hair covered in wounds, kneeling blankly, looking at the mysterious person before her, who was saying, A demon hybrid can hide horns and demon power. Looking very closely, the little girl vaguely guessed the identity of the two people in front of her. She thought to herself, Lord Demon King, our supreme great king. Chapter Demon King Hyo Kandun, burly with sharp eyes, looked down at the little girl and affirmed, My blood flows in your veins, so you are my daughter. Too shocked by the Demon King's words, the little girl's eyes widened. She asked herself, I'm the Demon King's daughter. The little girl recalled her difficult past, being caged collectively in a dark place since birth. She was one of the lab rats. Every day, she and her friends had to endure all kinds of painful torture. Every day was like hell. Day after day, she had to go through painful experiments, and she could only endure them. After all the children born with her died, she cried a lot when she was the only one who survived. The little girl thought to herself, I thought I would die too, until Demon King Hyo-kan-dun appeared. But he said, I am the Demon King's daughter. He thought the little girl wouldn't accept. So he just remained silent, looking at her thoughtfully, but no. She smiled as if she had grasped a ray of hope. She said thankfully, I am deeply honored, Your Majesty. The Demon King was a little surprised, but quickly regained his cold demeanor and said, Then I shall bestow a name upon you. Your name will be Reincarnated. You will become a spy and infiltrate the Heavenly Alliance to transfer their information to me. She happily accepted the order, as you command. For the first time she had a name. For the first time she was treated like a person. She secretly vowed to be loyal to the Demon King, the one who pulled her out of her dark life. She told herself, if it's for my father, Demon King Hyo-kan-dun, I can do anything. On a beautiful morning on the road leading to the palace, a knight discovered a little girl, covered in wounds, lying unconscious in the middle of the road. He quickly called out to the other person, Look! Someone is lying on the road. It's a child. Maybe she was attacked by a demon. The worried knight carried the little girl and rushed towards the castle. We must take her back for treatment. Lying on his shoulder, the little girl showed a cunning smile, having successfully used her plan to infiltrate the castle. From then on, I acted as the Demon King's spy. Through my own strength and effort, she recounted. Finally, I reached Talua as a mage of Aeson, and in the process, I endured everything that happened to me, and finally, I rose to become one of the strongest in the Tan-Kan army, the elite force after being admitted to Talua. After 15 years, I could finally meet Father again. Seeing him, she was very excited, but only dared to call out in her heart. Father. She wanted to run and hug him, but couldn't. Her eyes were resolute, determined not to let emotions ruin her father's plan. She reassured herself. Almost there. I just need to wait until everyone except Khan dies. My mission is to secretly use magic on the Tan-Kan army to hinder them and support Father until he kills General Khan. And once Father defeats Khan, I can finally return to the castle with him. I wanted a new life beside Father as Reincarnated. However, killing General Khan was not as easy as she thought. Even without army support, his strength could rival that of the Demon King. The two still hadn't decided the winner, General Khan. Was severely wounded, he admired, as expected of Hyo-kan-dun. You exceed my expectations. I admit you are the strongest opponent I have ever faced. Demon King. Hyo-kan-dun angrily retorted. You admit me, I don't need admission from a human like you. Facing a person with almost overwhelming strength, General Khan's attitude was not humble. He scoffed, You are truly arrogant, Demon King. Shall we finish this then? This is my final attack, the one I put everything into. His posture was firm, creating a stable stance, pouring all his strength into the spear in his hand, causing it to transform and glow. Heavenly Spear. No less impressive, the Demon King also put all his effort into this final blow. He created a massive purple magic orb called Hellfire Magalesia. Noticing the situation had far exceeded expectations, sweat beaded on her forehead, her expression tense, but she only dared to call out in her thoughts. Father. In that moment, she heard her father's voice. He turned to look at her and ordered, Reincarnated, my daughter, this is your next command. She suppressed her heartbreak and etched every word her father said into her mind. Serve the next demon king as you have served me, and protect him until the end. Seeing her father's life in danger, she could no longer contain her grief and shed tears. Her mouth could only call out, "Father." The clash of their magic powers created a fierce explosion. The dust gradually cleared, revealing the body of Demon King. Hyo Kandun collapsed on the ground, his entire body, stiff, unable to accept the truth that her father had died. Frey Kandun cried out loudly. Her entire body trembled with fear. She could only stammer, "No." She couldn't speak, unconsciously calling out, "Father," in her thoughts. After witnessing father's death, I had no choice but to return to Talua because reinforcements had arrived. The people in Talua cheered enthusiastically. "Victory! We have defeated the Demon King." People from all over the continent, including Talua, celebrated his death. They celebrated the death of the Demon King for the first time in a millennium. In contrast to everyone else, she bowed her head sadly. She felt lonely and lost because the person she considered everything was now gone. After that, I decided to retire and return to Aeson, my second home, where I began my first task for my father. Frey Kandun lifted her spirits, put on a cheerful smile, and resolved, "I will start over here to avenge father's death." Returning to the present, she smirked and declared, "I plan to wipe out everyone, starting with Aeson." Jane looked at Frey Kandun, suspiciously confirming, "No way you're the king's daughter, and Kang Chi you." Kandun grimaced, cursing silently. "Damn it, I thought I had escaped those demon siblings. Even if we're not blood-related, I didn't expect there to be another sister." Interrupting his thoughts, Frey Kandun said pleasantly, "I won't force you to cooperate with me as fellow demons, but I will tell you one thing. Aeson is a crucial point for the demon race as a nation of magic. The longer we leave this place, the sooner Kang Chi Yu Kandun, the last hope of the demon race, will lose his life." He clenched his fist, showing indignation, secretly agreeing. She's right. Even mages are a force in battle. If I leave them be, I'll be the one in danger. From when mages appeared, they angrily cursed, "Ugh, damn it!" Hearing the explosion, everyone must be running here. We can't let anyone else steal the credit. The leader loudly called out, "Everyone use as much magic power as possible. We can't hold back." He revealed his identity, muttering, "These bastards. Maybe they thought we were humans like them, but they still attacked without hesitation." Jane was surprised and stopped him. "Young master, your appearance has changed. You look fierce with those horns and pointy ears." He coldly warned, "This is just self-defense, all right." Frey Kandun felt a sense of familiarity and turned back to look at him. Her eyes widened in surprise. This energy? No way. Father's power. That night, we had an endless battle. In Jane's eyes, it probably looked like a massacre. As for Frey Kandun, Aeson was like her second home, so she knew its entire structure perfectly. She destroyed all the important facilities of the government, as well as the Magic Academy. As for Kang Chi Yu Kandun, he said, "I also used Hyo's magic power to eliminate the rulers who were intoxicated by the festival." His eyes were empty, his lips pressed together, his hands with sharp claws, scratching at the rulers, creating noise. The people who were hit pleaded in pain. "Save me." With our coordination, the nation of Magic Aeson was easily destroyed. The rulers were stunned and desperate. No way. Our magic power created large explosions. Fire burned throughout the city, and even the sky was tinged with the color of blood. A mage was crushed under rubble, desperately resisting. "No, I don't believe it. Aeson cannot fall this easily." He showed a look of resentment, shouting loudly, cursing even though he was severely wounded. "You demons, I will never forgive you." Unexpectedly, a fireball flew towards him. Frey Kandun stood with her hands on her hips in front of him, her voice mocking. That's what I should be saying, right? Unwilling to give up. He shot back. I'm the one who can't forgive you. Her eyes glared at him fiercely, her face full of greed, declaring, Aeson is just the beginning. Now it's the turn of the Tan-Kan army and the great Talua Empire. I will finish off everyone. He was slightly scared and wondered. To that extent, Jane frantically tried to stop her. No way. Regaining his composure, he turned away indifferently and suggested, Well, we helped each other. That's enough. Let's go our separate ways. Frey Kandun quickly spoke up to stop him. Wait! She closed her eyes and bowed her head, her voice hesitant as she questioned. You think I wouldn't recognize that magic power, you? Your father's second son, Kang-chi-yu. Kandun, right? He turned his head to look at her, saying nothing, knowing his identity had been revealed. He thought to himself, looks like there's no point hiding it. He sighed in frustration, not denying it. Yes. She was surprised that her guess was true. Huh. Really? His face turned dark with annoyance as he inwardly grumbled. Did she just guess? She admitted, I was just a little suspicious, but also I'm not a daughter in the traditional sense. I was created from father's blood. Because of that, she acknowledged, I acknowledge you as father's bloodline. I was created after you were born, so you are my older brother. Hearing this, his entire body froze. He thought to himself, over my dead body. She raised her head to look at him and extended an invitation. I guess you want to avenge father too, right? Then come with me, he said resentfully. I ran away from home. Revenge my foot. She pressed him. You're not running away, are you? Her face clearly showed excitement as she said, You are the only remaining bloodline of the Demon King, father's only remaining child. Jane was scared by her terrifying look and pleaded with him. Please, master. Please say you'll go with her. She looks like she'll kill us if you say no. He was thoughtful, his mouth replying, I will get revenge, of course, but in his mind, he was cautiously considering the timing. At this moment, I have no choice. Frey Kandun's spirits lifted, and she said with satisfaction, Good. Then let's go. Let's burn them all down. He also responded stiffly, Yeah! He looked at her with a hidden meaning, as if he had found a pawn scheming inwardly. Anyway, I need Aeson's magic, and Sis knows everything, so I can stall by using revenge as an excuse. I'll treat her like my person. Behind a brick wall, not far from where they stood, a mage who had fortunately survived, had quietly overheard their entire conversation. He watched the three who had left, full of resentment, gnashing his teeth, resolving, I must report this to Talua. On a clear morning at Talua Castle, a voice reported, Your Majesty, great King of Talua, we have received an urgent message from someone in Aeson. The king was eating a piece of meat still stuck on his fork, annoyed at being interrupted during his meal. He frowned and asked, What is the urgent news? The messenger respectfully reported, That Sis of the Tan-Kan army is a demon. So the mages of Aeson tried to eliminate her. Still not realizing the seriousness of the situation, the king impatiently asked again. And then, the messenger said solemnly, bowing his head, Kang-chi-yu Kandun appeared and burned down Aeson with her. The king was startled, slammed the table and shouted, What? He was no longer relaxed, but tense. The Demon King's son in Aeson. The messenger calmly offered his speculation. I think perhaps he has a connection with Sisto. As soon as he finished speaking, the king cursed. Damn it, he worriedly calculated. Not only is Sis of the Tan-Kan army a demon, but Aeson was also burned down by Keola. If this news gets out, The messenger continued stating the unfavorable outcome. It will make us a laughingstock. Immediately the king pointed the knife in his hand and ordered angrily, "Kill Sis and Kangchi Yu Kandun before people find out. If you cannot bring back their heads, I will execute you." The messenger accepted the order, looking at the king, his face showing high resolve. "I swear on the name of Hayden that I will kill them." Hayden quietly went to the prayer room. He looked at the demon king's head, contained in a glass box, with hateful eyes, cursing in his heart. "Heo Kandun, your lineage keeps bothering me ceaselessly. I swear I will burn down all those who carry your bloodline." Somewhere else in this castle, a voice asked, "Is there news about the Killian army?" Hayden's subordinate reported the situation. "General Killian must have received the news by now. I told him to return immediately upon receiving the news." Hearing this name, Hayden affirmed Killian. "The greatest knight surpasses even Khan. To kill Kea and Sis, we need Killian." Upon receiving the bad news, Killian angrily clenched the scroll and asked again, "So Khan, my brother, is dead?" The messenger affirmed, "Yes, he sacrificed himself, bravely killing the demon king." His emotions were mixed. Sadness for his brother's loss and anger at his brother's failure. His face was expressionless as he said, "So how could he be killed again by a demon?" The messenger urgently reported more important news. "Talua needs you to hunt down Kangchi Yu Kandun." Killian's attitude was indifferent to the order. "I don't care what Talua wants or not, because the demon that killed my brother." But he suddenly exploded, punching a dent in the wall before him because his brother had been killed. He turned back, his face full of killing intent, swearing, "I will kill every demon on the continent, starting with Kangchi Yu Kandun." Killian coldly declared, "I will kill every demon on the continent, starting with Kangchi Yu Kandun." As for Kangchi Yu's group, the three decided to stop in the forest and cook dinner. Sitting on the ground, he looked blankly at the large piece of meat being roasted. Doubting, "Who can eat all of this?" Frey Kandun immediately retorted, "If you're full, don't eat. There's still more for me." Jane held a piece of meat and was curious. "Do you have a secret to not gaining weight?" Frey Kandun, enjoying her meat, happily revealed, "If you consume it and excrete it quickly, you won't get fat." Jane's eyes widened, as if she had found a treasure, and she quickly exclaimed, "Ah, so that's it! A miraculous theory." Despite Frey's enthusiasm, he remained vigilant. He glanced at her, secretly relieved. "Anyway, it's good that she doesn't intend to kill me, like Sodera or Tame. I was worried she would be jealous of me being the legitimate bloodline." To confirm his thoughts, he asked, "Is there anything you're unhappy about with me, because I'm father's direct son?" As soon as he finished the question, Sis was furious and affirmed, "Of course, to the point where I want to kill you." But immediately, she lowered her face sadly and explained, "But because you carry the blood of father, the one I always loved and respected, I cannot hate you. Furthermore, because you carry father's blood, I actually need to protect you at all costs." He was slightly surprised looking at her, with amber eyes, asking himself, "Unlike the other two siblings, she will protect me." She gently placed her hand on his, emphasizing, "So from now on, I will risk my life to keep you alive." He was somewhat swayed by her loyalty to her father. His cheeks unconsciously flushed, and he hesitated to agree. "All right. Thank you." Seeing him act differently from his usual cold demeanor, Jane was flustered and wide-eyed. Why is Master blushing? Feeling a bit jealous of Sis, Jane turned and forced him. "Master Kiola, eat my share too, because you've used a lot of magic power. You also need to eat a lot." He was startled by her and quickly refused. But I'm not hungry. Jane put her hand on her chest and said seriously, assuring him, I will protect your health. I will do so until I die. Her enthusiasm embarrassed him, so he reassured her. I know. Calm down. Suddenly, Frey Kandun lowered her voice and told them the situation the three of them were being hunted. Anyway, due to the situation in Asen, other countries probably know about it, so many demon hunters will gather here. Since it's not safe here, we should find somewhere else to sleep. Hearing this, he disagreed. No, this is actually a very good place to stay overnight. Jane still didn't understand his meaning and asked again. Here. He looked amused and affirmed. Yes, with a little effort, it will become an impregnable fortress. He would direct the changes, and Sis would use magic to support him. He pointed at the wooden stakes and requested, First, let's change the terrain to turn it into a secret fortress. Working together smoothly, their hiding place was completed. He rested and reflected on what he had experienced. After resting, I reviewed what I learned from this battle. After using so much magic power, I needed to rest immediately after. Looking back, even the Demon King needed to rest after a battle. Looking at Sis, she was sleeping sprawled out, seemingly sleeping very soundly. Someone who uses more magic power than I do, they need even more rest time. So we rested safely while being protected by the secret fortress. At the castle, trumpets sounded a welcome. A group of people was entering the castle to the cheers of the residents, the Second Army of Tankan. The White Tankan. It's Kilian, the king's closest attendant respectfully announced. Your Majesty, the White Tankan has arrived. The king eagerly looked down at the White Tankan and exclaimed, Good. Just looking at them gives me goosebumps. Welcome back, my strongest army, the White Tankan. Dis looked at Kilian and happily remarked, Commander Kilian, it seems you've become several times stronger in that short time. If General Khan could see this, he would be very happy. Afraid that Khan would be upset, a blonde girl reminded him. Dis, watch your words. Dis was startled and pouted. That booming voice. You're still the same. Audrea, a dark-skinned young man with a fierce face, spoke up, questioning. Commander Kilian, do we have to obey the king's summons? I don't think Kangchi Yu Kandun is enough for me to vent my anger now. In contrast to him, Kilian gently apologized. Forgive me. Khan, there's something I want to show Kriya. The group went to the place where the Demon King's head, defeated by General Khan, was kept. Kilian looked at the head, his eyes full of hatred. So it's you the one who killed my brother Hyo Kandun? Dis awkwardly muttered, Ugh, gross. Audrea reminded him, Shh, silence. He turned his attention to Cry and asked, Cry, will the demon tracking spell work just on the head? She replied respectfully, It can. Commander, the blood stain on the head will help me track those with the same bloodline. She extended her hand and cast a search spell on the Demon King's head. Knowing the whereabouts of the Demon King's son, he showed a sinister smile and warned, Hyo Kandun, open your eyes wide and watch what we are about to do. Returning to the three in the forest, Frey Kandun cheered, All right, we've rested enough. Now let's go deal with those bastards. The Second Army of Tankan will soon be summoned. Jane was confused, as this was the first time she heard about the Second Army of Tankan. Frey's face became serious as she explained. To be honest, in Talua, the First Army wasn't given much hope for successfully eliminating the Demon King. Essentially, we were used as test subjects. The army that Talua carefully created and invested effort into is the Second Army, the White Tankan. He was truly curious about this army. White Tankan, Frey continued to explain. It's the army of Khan's younger brother Kilian, an elite army comprised of combat geniuses. His voice hesitated. Then Hyo, the one who killed Khan, is weaker than us. She clenched her fists in anger, admitting, I don't want to admit it, but they are much better than Khan, to the point where I cannot predict how talented they are. Kang Chi-yu's eyes gradually became serious. His eyebrows furrowed. At this moment, Jine asked fearfully, Then how do we invade Talua? She turned quickly and urged, The entire White Tan-Can is currently training in isolation, so it will take some time for them to gather. Therefore, we must defeat Talua as soon as possible. In his heart, he thought. Talua is much bigger. Just luck won't be enough to help in this battle. Kang Chi-yu hesitated a little. Then, he crossed his arms and spoke his thoughts. Sis, think again. With the mission to hunt me, it's highly likely that the White Tan-Can has already gathered. Kang Chi-yu then explained to Sis that it doesn't make sense for just the three of them to attack Talua without any assistance. We need to form an army and build a base. The giant beside him was confused and asked again. An army and a base. He continued to explain to both of them. An army that won't even lose to the White Tan-Can, and a base that won't fall even if Talua's soldiers invade. Kang Chi-yu said, with sinister eyes. We will build the strongest dungeon. Frey felt it was interesting while Jane beside her was scared. The strongest dungeon. But suddenly, his eyes darkened slightly. So we can't gamble on a battle we're unsure of. If we do that, we'll end up like Father. A strong determination, and will envelop the atmosphere around his body. We will create the strongest dungeon and fight a decisive battle against Talua. Jane felt incredibly excited. You're right. Father's son is different. Indeed. Kang Chi-yu secretly sighed in relief. Good thing I just thought of that idea. Sis and Jane were enthusiastic about his idea. Now, let's create an army. I know someone we can recruit, let's do it. And the two of them happily raised their fists to the sky. For our battle. For our battle. Kang Chi-yu stood beside them helpless. They really liked my idea. In his heart at this moment was full of determination to fight. Anyway, this is a way for me to buy time. His smile was full of anticipation for the idea. To create my own world where no one bothers me. Kang Chi-yu walked confidently along the road, a map that I couldn't bring into reality, the own perfect world. His hands clenched tightly, full of determination. At this moment, he turned to her and asked, Sis, you said you knew some trustworthy demon hybrids, right? Quite a few. Kang Chi-yu's face became a bit serious. First, we need someone who knows a lot about geography and terrain. Frey nodded slightly. Understood. She excitedly left. I know someone. Let's go. On a clear morning on a large mountain, I began to study the magic of Asen. On the way to our destination, strictly speaking. It wasn't something I could learn in a short time, but thanks to the blood of the Demon King, I was able to learn quickly. Kang Chi-yu was incredibly proud of himself. I taught myself and used magic with my own hands. It feels like I'm getting closer to my goal. 4 days later, the three of them reached their destination. We're almost there. Demons live even in this desolate place. Sis's eyes replied calmly. It's not always like this, but after the Tan-Can raided, Jine beside her was still in a daze. At this moment, her face darkened as she warned the two. No matter what, don't move. Suddenly, a person came out and shouted, Stop right there, you Tan-Can bastards! You're targeting us again! Then a demon holding a weapon charged forward and stabbed directly into Sis. I'll kill you, Tan-Can! But her eyes seemed to have foreseen this action. I knew it. Looks like the demon hybrids haven't heard about me yet. Jane behind screamed worriedly. Huh. Sis, why did you let yourself be attacked? Tell me the truth. But suddenly, Kang Chi-yu stopped her from speaking. Quiet. Huh, he said coldly to Jane. Just leave them be. They at this moment seemed to go insane, constantly asking, why aren't you fighting back? Do you think we're not worthy opponents? As for Sis, with her face darkened, she lowered her head. I'm sorry. She sat down gently on the ground. I will receive your anger until you feel better. The attacking demons were a little scared. That is a symbolic posture. Only we know. Frey gave a cold look at those people. I'm sorry, fellow demon hybrids. Hearing this, they were a little surprised. You're a demon hybrid, but last time you came with the tan can bastards. Kang Chi-yu beside her also spoke up for her. It's true. He explained his identity. I am the last child of Demon King Hyo Kandun. I assure you, her words are true. This made them scared and retreat. This powerful demon energy, this is definitely the Demon King's son. Suddenly, at this moment, some of them knelt on the ground. Master, you are young, Master. Ko La, it is him. Everyone respected him. We, the earth demons of this land, humbly greet Prince Kang Chi-yu Kandun. Jane behind him looked at him radiantly. Young Master Ko La. Frey slowly stood up and smiled faintly. Look, they see you as the legitimate heir. His eyes at this moment suddenly became calm, unable to speak. Under the ground were holes here and there. Inside the cracks was an incredibly grand scene. This made Kang Chi-yu's mood somewhat happy. Yes, maybe it won't be too difficult to create an army of my own. The people in the city gathered shouting and cheering in front of everyone. It's the Demon King's son. Kang Chi-yu Kandun. Earth demons, greetings, sir. At this moment, a person stepped forward, smiling happily at Kang Chi-yu. I will prepare anything you need, son of the great Demon King. Please give your command. He turned his face away and didn't reply to his words. In his heart, he thought, this is a different architecture from the Demon King's castle and Aeson. Looking at the magnificent architecture before him, Kang Chi-yu couldn't help but be surprised and admire it. I didn't expect they could build such a sturdy city without magic. And with natural materials as the primary resource, the location of the city is great too. The people below were laughing and blending into the lively atmosphere. I never imagined there could be such a large city underground, never appearing. At this moment, he turned to look at Sis, who was happily laughing and spoke up. You're right, Sis. We need the talents of the earth demons. See, I told you so. Suddenly, her eyes darkened as she replied to him. Besides them, we also have an excellent warrior to recruit. Kang Chi-yu didn't understand what Sis meant. An excellent warrior. Her face was a bit serious as she said, Tan Khan discovered this city during their journey to the Demon King's castle. At the battlefield where Sis passed through, a heaven-shattering scream reached her ears. I can't believe demons hide in a place like this. Khan held his spear and pointed it towards the enemy. I will not allow any demon to live. Kill these disgusting earth demons. The demon warriors were running and screaming for help. Run! It's Talua's army! Help! The forest was engulfed in burning flames. Under General Khan's command, the forest covering this city was burned down, pushing the earth demons to the brink of extinction. Frey was startled when she saw the scene. But you cruel bastards! How can you massacre people who don't even know how to fight? Douglas stood in front of the children to protect them. He firmly opposed, I will not allow anyone without the honor of a warrior to lay a hand on these children. Frey looked at him with a bit of contempt. a demon risking his life to protect children. Khan spoke up and asked him, "Warrior, what is your name?" He didn't tremble and shouted his name loudly. "I am Douglas, son of the Earth Demon." Khan hesitated when he heard that name. Douglas! His eyes became full of killing intent. After a moment of silence, Douglas stood awkwardly, listening to him say, "If you were born human." Suddenly, Khan shouted to his soldiers, "Everyone stop fighting. We will leave here and continue our journey to the Demon King's castle." This statement left him stunned. "What?" Frey turned back and praised Douglas. "Your courage saved your tribe." He stood rooted to the spot, not believing the truth before him. He still stood there with the children. Returning to the present, Sis slightly curled her lips. Finding him interesting, she told Kang Chi-yu, "Douglas didn't run away and tried to save the children until the end." Jane was surprised by that. Douglas did that. His name sounds trustworthy too. In Kang Chi-yu's heart, he was conflicted. An earth demon who can fight, that's more than I expected. During dinner, he stood up and slammed the table. "I want to meet this Douglas guy." But Master Kang Chi-yu Douglas is quite stubborn. This suggestion was immediately stopped by someone. "It would be better if you found someone else." But he insisted on meeting him. "No, I will bring Douglas along with me." "Where is he in the city right now?" Wisps of black smoke were still rising into the sky. Kang Chi-yu appeared and met Douglas. "You refuse to obey me." He was forging weapons and turned to reply, "You may be the son of the great demon king, but I have no obligation to obey you." Kang Chi-yu asked him again. "And if I use force?" But his determination could not be swayed. "Then I will fight to the death." He didn't understand why he was doing that. "Why are you so determined to stay here?" "I was born and raised here." Douglas stated his reason. "I have a duty to protect my homeland, so I cannot leave." And at this moment, he realized the truth of what everyone said was right. "You are indeed as stubborn as they said." Douglas's face was covered in sweat, and he said with a bit of disappointment, "I'm sorry." In his heart, a feeling of regret arose. "What a pity, how many tries will it take to get this? I tried to recruit an orc ally like Douglas in the game." Kang Chi-yu had to sigh. "Looks like there's no other way." He said he'd rather die. Suddenly, at this moment, he hesitated, unable to speak. Kang Chi-yu looked at the black smoke above the city. This had sparked curiosity in his heart. This architecture, it's actually quite effective. Kang Chi-yu glanced around, looking in all directions. "I really want someone with the knowledge of the earth demons to serve me." Then he saw Sis walking back with a cup of wine, completely drunk. "The earth demon wine is really good, come try it." This made him extremely angry. "These damn drunkards. Don't they see I'm struggling to find something?" But he snatched the cups of wine from the two people. He drank both cups in one gulp. "What is this? Why does this beer taste like potato? What's potato?" The three of them sat at the table. Tipsy Kang Chi-yu was talking strangely again. "He's always like this when he's drunk." "Oh dear, you're really drunk." The old man at this moment came out and smiled, giving instructions. "Take them back to the resting chambers." As ordered. The twilight sky gradually descended over the city. Drunk Kang Chi-yu was taken to a resting room. At this moment, he was a little hazy, moving slightly. In his dream, the noise outside was very loud. The sound of footsteps approached, accompanied by very large iron axes. Keola was resting, but he seemed to be falling into a nightmare. In his drunken stupor, he remembered something from when he was little. "Keola, you useless thing." The axe swung directly down towards the table. "Today you will die here." The axe swung directly down towards the pillow of Keola. He woke up with a start. How could it be? The axe swung directly down towards Keola's pillow. "All right with this, I'm certain." He was scared and withdrew his weapon. Damn it, he wasn't asleep. They suddenly went crazy and wanted to attack someone else. Keola, that despicable fellow. Kill him. Keola sat up calmly, looking at the group. His eyes showed no fear, but were full of killing intent. At first, I was also suspicious. His thoughts connected. Why was Douglas making things that weren't weapons in the forge? Keola had been continuously observing his actions since he entered. No matter how he looked at it, those handcuffs didn't fit with an orc. The weapons Douglas forged looked extremely dangerous. And on the way, Keola continuously felt someone behind him. And while looking around, he realized someone was following him. He always kept that habit with him. From then on, I started observing my surroundings more carefully. Keola's hand gently touched the wall in front of him and realized there was a wall with a sophisticated magic barrier hidden within it. Looking at that wall, he couldn't help but think. With such a sophisticated barrier, I wouldn't have been able to notice it if I hadn't inherited the Demon King's magic power. But I feel like something is wrong. And there was also something strange. Keola recalled Douglas's earlier action. Sis clearly said that Douglas had protected the little dark elves. Constantly, strange things happened, forcing Keola to use his brain. But I didn't see any little dark elves in the village. That's when everything became clear. Suddenly, at this moment, Keola's eyes became more sinister. He used all his strength and jumped the surroundings instantly, filled with a blue light. They were quickly defeated by that technique and fell to the ground. At this moment, he spoke to him in a cold voice. "Douglas, you didn't tell Khan that you couldn't let the little dark elves die, but that you couldn't hand them over. A killing aura enveloped the entire room. That means you don't care about protecting them, you just don't want to lose them." Douglas was extremely scared when the truth was revealed. "How did you?" He didn't say much and asked him, "Now shall we lift that magic barrier in the village?" At this moment, it was very peaceful with bright sunny days. Keola stood before the crowd and lifted the magic spell for him. How can this be? Great warrior Douglas, in his heart. At this moment, he couldn't help but think, as expected. They're all the same breed, otherwise it would have been impossible, the old man. The leader of that demon group was now scolding him. "Damn it, Douglas, you really failed." And Douglas looked at them with a look of guilt. "I'm sorry." In his heart, a feeling of regret arose. What a pity, how many retrees will it take? I tried to recruit an orc ally like Douglas in the game. Kang Chiyu had to sigh. Looks like there's no other way. He said he'd rather die. Suddenly at this moment he hesitated, unable to speak. Kang Chiyu looked towards the black smoke on the city. This had sparked his curiosity. This architecture is actually quite effective. Kang Chiyu looked around, surveying in all directions. I really want someone with the knowledge of the earth demons to serve me. Then he saw Sis returning with a cup of wine in a completely drunk state. "Earth demon wine is really good. Come try it." This made him incredibly angry. These damn drunkards, don't they see I'm struggling to find something? But he snatched the cups of wine from the two of them. He drank both cups in one jet gulp. "What is this? Why does this beer taste like potato? What's potato?" The three of them sat at the table, tipsy. Keola was talking strangely again. He's always like this when he's drunk. "Oh dear, you're really drunk." The old man at this moment came out and smiled, giving instructions. "Take them back to the resting chambers." As ordered, the twilight sky gradually descended over the city. Drunk Kang Chiyu was taken to a resting room. At this moment, he was a little hazy, moving slightly. In his dream, the noise outside was very loud. The sound of footsteps approached, accompanied by very large iron axes. Keola was resting. but he seemed to be falling into a nightmare. In his drunken stupor, he remembered something from when he was little. "Ko-la, you useless thing." The axe swung directly down towards the table. "Today you will die here." The axe swung directly down towards the table. "Today you will die here." Douglas woke up with a start. How could it be? The axe swung directly down towards Ko-la's pillow. "All right with this, I'm certain." He was scared and withdrew his weapon. Damn it, he wasn't asleep. They suddenly went crazy and wanted to attack someone else. Ko-la, that despicable fellow. Kill him. Ko-la sat up calmly looking at the group. His eyes showed no fear, but were full of killing intent. At first, I was also suspicious. His thoughts connected. Why was Douglas making things that weren't weapons in the forge? Ko-la had been continuously observing his actions since he entered. No matter how he looked at it, those handcuffs didn't fit with an orc. The weapons Douglas forged looked extremely dangerous. And on the way, Ko-la continuously felt someone behind him. And while looking around, he realized someone was following him. He always kept that habit with him. From then on, I started observing my surroundings more carefully. Ko-la's hand gently touched the wall in front of him, and realized there was a wall with a sophisticated magic barrier hidden within it. Looking at that wall, he couldn't help but think. With such a sophisticated barrier, I wouldn't have been able to notice it if I hadn't inherited the Demon King's magic power. But I feel like something is wrong, and there was also something strange. Ko-la recalled Douglas's earlier action. Sis clearly said that Douglas had protected the little dark elves. Constantly, strange things happened, forcing Ko-la to use his brain. But I didn't see any little dark elves in the village. That's when everything became clear. Suddenly, at this moment, Ko-la's eyes became more sinister. He used all his strength and jumped the surroundings instantly, filled with a blue light. They were quickly defeated by that technique and fell to the ground. At this moment, he spoke to him in a cold voice. "Douglas, you didn't tell Kon that you couldn't let the little dark elves die, but that you couldn't hand them over. A killing aura enveloped the entire room. That means you don't care about protecting them, you just don't want to lose them." Douglas was extremely scared when the truth was revealed. "How did you?" He didn't say much and asked him, "Now shall we lift that magic barrier in the village?" At this moment, it was very peaceful with bright sunny days. Ko-la stood before the crowd and lifted the magic spell for him. "This, how can this be? Great warrior Douglas," in his heart. At this moment, he couldn't help but think, as expected. They're all the same breed, otherwise it would have been impossible. The old man, the leader of that demon group, was now scolding him. "Damn it, Douglas, you really failed." And Douglas looked at them with a look of guilt. "I'm sorry." At this moment, Ko-la threatened the group. "Don't move. If anyone moves, Douglas will die." They couldn't help but curse and get angry. Damn it! How did that weakling Ko-la? In the space at this moment, the peace was shattered, only noise remained. Ko-la brought him before the wall and opened the door. Douglas helplessly took out a stone and placed it in the hole. The wall quickly opened. Inside were prisoners who were incredibly pitiful. Old and young were locked inside a large wall. Ko-la looked at that scene and was shocked. He asked himself, how could this be? They're in a worse condition than I imagined. Frey ran over from somewhere, constantly asking, "Ko-la, are you okay? These cowardly bastards dared to ambush Master Ko-la." She was extremely surprised at the sight. "This is..." At this moment, he said coldly to the two people, "Sis, can you bring one of those dark elves and show me their memories through memory transfer magic?" She pushed the two away. "It won't be as clear as transferring my own memory, but it's possible." His eyes were fixed on them. "Then I'll leave it to you." Frey quickly cast magic to rescue everyone. that light carried the hope of liberation. This place is hell. Everywhere is pain and sorrow. My mother was pregnant and forced to give birth, and I was born. All the lives here were born this way, and among those children, those chosen by human nobles would be forcibly taken away, because the little elves chosen could be sold for high prices. Sometimes adults captured from the outside would tell us about the world. Endless skies and deep blue oceans, delicious food, and carefree travel. Things we could never learn in this place. If I could wish for something before I die, even just once, I wish our children could escape and experience those things themselves. Recalling those sad past memories, Kang Chi-yu couldn't help but get angry from this pathetic existence. He shouted, his face contorting with veins. "Earth demons, you bastards!" At this moment, an earth demon approached, drawing Keola's attention. Under the fury of hatred, he punched him hard. Frey and Jane were surprised to learn the truth. "What? So you didn't intend to save the children? You were trying to sell them?" Douglas sat against the wall and said with a contemptuous tone, "That's right. Dark elves are a rare race that human nobles crave." Looking at the dark elves, he was constantly jealous. Dark elves are a race loved by nature. As long as they live where they are designated, we will have peace and safety. Douglas was blinded by jealousy. Doesn't that make them perfect items for internal trade? Frey was extremely angry at his words. "You bastard! How can you enslave other demon hybrids?" At this moment, Douglas shouted back in response to those words. "The Demon King is dead. They are essential if we want to survive against humans." Kang Chi-yu's hand clenched tightly in anger. He remembered that painful past. "I've suffered enough from the old man's oppression. I've suffered." Looking at those pitiful children, Kang Chi-yu couldn't help but feel pity, but these children are living in pain beyond my imagination. This made him constantly blame himself. I can't just stand by and do nothing when something like this is happening before my eyes. At this moment, he called the two people beside him. Sis Jane, Keola, ordered the two of them. "Finish what Khan started." She strongly supported his idea. "I agree. These bastards dared to betray their own kind. I cannot forgive them." Kang Chi-yu was determined to fight them to the end. "Me too. We will purify this place from these earth demons." Douglas, although injured, still had the strength to rally his power. "Everyone help me quickly. There are only 3 of them." Both sides quickly charged into fierce combat. "Die!" Jine in the battle was shouting and informing everyone. "The remaining orcs are attacking." Frey was so angry she couldn't speak. "How dare you rebel against the son of the great demon king?" Everyone was determined not to forgive their crimes. "Don't hold back. Unlike others, Keola is useless. We have no reason to listen to him." Jane gathered all her courage and shouted, "Nonsense! Young Master Keola will become the next demon king." Douglas on this side was fighting him. "Die, Keola." Keola fought while thinking, "This isn't a game, this is reality. If I can use my power to change everything." Before he could strike, Douglas was kicked directly in the face by Keola. Then I won't stay idle like before. The dark elves sitting in a corner were witnessing the battle. "Kill them." At this moment, a boy trembled and asked, "Perhaps they're doing that for us." Ut saw their help and was a little moved. "Then we have to help them." He quickly rushed forward but was stopped. "What are you doing?" It's dangerous. Get back." The people behind him also said, "If they fail, we'll be tortured. Stay put, Ut." In his mouth, he kept muttering, "Tortured." Ut remembered the painful past he had suffered. Screams and chains constantly appeared in his mind. At this moment, Keola looked at Ut beside him, unable to speak. He turned to ask Douglas, "Do you hear those painful cries? You should take all of them." His hand gently slipped into his pocket and took out something like a stone. As expected. This won't work. He didn't say much and put the stone directly into his mouth. Everyone eat the Earth Spirit Stone. Thinking of losing it means losing everything. They all simultaneously shoved the stones into their mouths when they heard the command. Douglas ate the Earth Spirit Stone. We should eat it too. Jane was surprised to hear the name of the stone, Earth Spirit Stone. I thought that was just a myth, but Kang Chi-yu was surprised and turned back to ask, "What is it?" Frey was a little scared of that thing. When consumed in exchange for a portion of the demon hybrid's lifespan, it will increase their physical ability by several dozen times. They at this moment constantly transformed, growing larger as they swallowed the stones. Douglas, now muscular, spoke up. "Ko-la, I will." He now seemed to have turned into a large demon, a killer. Kang Chi-yu couldn't believe his eyes as he saw them gradually growing larger. No way. Their demon energy has increased along with their physical ability. Then he looked down at his hand, which was glowing. No, I can't use all the power Hio gave me yet. Douglas didn't say much and came forward wanting to finish off Ko-la with a punch. "Get ready." He was a little scared looking at that huge fist. Dangerous. But suddenly something flew towards his body at this moment. It wrapped around his arm very tightly. That thing successfully angered Douglas. "What is this?" A voice approached. "Never again." It walked over with a very pitiful appearance. "I don't want to be tortured anymore." The people of the tribe were surprised and stunned. You actually did that." And he angrily cursed, "Bastard! How dare you stop me? I'll torture you to death." But suddenly, at this moment, he saw a shocking sight. Ko-la stepped forward and threatened him. "Don't mess with me. That will never happen." At this moment, the rope wrapped directly around Douglas's neck, accompanied by something sharp, piercing directly into his body. "Damn you!" He gently turned to his key. "Is that a t-t-" Kang Chi-yu smiled radiantly and said to her, "You. I like you." Ut heard this and wasn't surprised, but was a little moved. Kang Chi-yu smiled radiantly and said to her, "You, I like you." And Douglas on the side was struggling non-stop. Angry, "I raised you an abandoned child. You dare betray me." His hand clenched tightly, veins popping out although injured. Douglas still shouted very loudly, "Forget about torture, I'll kill you right now." Kang Chi-yu couldn't help but be surprised by his shout. "What?" His body is bigger. His body was larger, and his strength was continuously increasing. He raised his fist forward. That punch sent Kang Chi-yu's small body flying to the side. He was knocked back and hit the wall hard with his back. The pain from his body made Kang Chi-yu question himself inwardly. Is the Earth Spirit Stone that strong? Then Douglas noticed Ut standing beside him. Ut. With just one arm, he lifted her light body easily. His voice at this moment was like a wild wolf gone mad. "Ut, I'll snap your head off." Ut's neck was squeezed tightly, unable to breathe, her face gradually turning blue. Ko-la on the side observed his frantic actions. He went mad. He's focusing on killing Ut, more than fighting me. Ut was becoming increasingly unable to bear the lack of oxygen. He on the side gritted his teeth watching the scene. Damn it. He's too far away. Like this. I need a long-range attack. Suddenly, at this moment, a figure appeared in Ko-la's eyes. He was desperately begging for something. Anything, please. Suddenly, Ko-la fell into a very large space. Where is this? Suddenly, at this moment, a sinister laugh rang out from behind him. Idiot! This is inside your subconscious. That person appeared scaring him. He turned around to look. "Who are you?" he at this moment asked. "Don't you want to know how to save that person more? No matter how slow time passes in this place, you need to act." Kang-chi. Yu suddenly stopped. "That's right, she's right in front of me." At this moment, he spoke up and asked, "Do you have a way to save Ut?" He slightly curled his lips and smiled. "You're ready to use all the power Heo Kandun bestowed upon you." His feet walked as he explained. "However, when your mind and body are more synchronized, you will be able to unlock even more." But at this moment, he had no more patience to listen. "Forget the explanation. Just tell me the power I can use right now." He brought a ray of hope to Keola. "All right, there is something you can use." Suddenly the dark figure approached close to Keola's ear and whispered softly, "Kang-chi u Kandun Chu. I will see you soon." What? This made him extremely curious and asked himself, how does he know my name? Returning to the present, Tha was startled awake, opening his eyes wide. His body at this moment was surrounded by a strange blue light. This is Hio's fire arrow. He held the bow and arrow curious. If it's this. At this moment he shouted very loudly, "Ut, protect yourself!" Douglas saw his action and was extremely stunned. Ut bit his hand hard. The pain made him curse. This bitch Kang-chi Yu beside him scoffed. "This is the consequence for your cruel actions, Douglas." Every arrow in his hand was shot with incredible speed. Douglas could only look at the bow and arrow in a daze. He couldn't dodge the arrow and was quickly attacked, vanishing before everyone's eyes. The pain made him scream incessantly for help. "Help me!" Kang-chi Yu sighed in relief inwardly. It worked, a direct hit. Douglas kept screaming in front of the attack. His body at this moment was gradually disappearing with the blue smoke. Looking at the bow and arrow in his hand, Kang-chi Yu was a little hesitant. Then, what was the thing I met in my subconscious? Jane fought on endlessly. There are too many of them. Sis beside her was gradually running out of strength. Damn it! Because of the ceiling, I can't use water release magic. Kang-chi Yu stood beside them and said reassuringly, "Don't worry, I'll handle this right away." 3 arrows were successfully shot. Those who were attacked were now constantly screaming in pain. Sis felt very proud. Shooting arrows with demon energy, Kang-chi Yu's magic power has become stronger. He sat and shot the bow, thinking calmly. Now I have a long-range attack. This felt like a joy brought to Kang-chi Yu. It's delicious. It's great. Jane was startled and looked fearfully in one direction. Her hand gripped the spirit stone tightly. "We definitely need to look into these things." Kang-chi Yu lowered his voice and spoke. "Now all of you," he announced to the dark elf tribe, "you are free." Kang-chi Yu constantly reminded them, "Don't get captured by bastards like them again, and live freely." The children were both scared and happy. "Free, we're free," he announced to everyone. "Now you can leave this place." They still couldn't believe their ears. "We can take the children out of this hellhole." Some of them knelt on the ground, extremely grateful. "Thank you, Master." "Thank you very much, Master Keola." Sis beside him spoke up. "Looks like we can't recruit the Earth Demons as subordinates. After all, I can't believe I was fooled by those bastards." Jane was also very sympathetic to them. "It's a pity, but there's nothing else we can do." Kang-chi Yu looked at Ut and spoke up. "Ut, you weren't born here, but were captured and brought here, right?" She nodded and replied, "Yes." Receiving Ut's nod, he continued to ask, "I guess you don't have any family to live with?" She still nodded sadly. "Yes." Kang-chi Yu made a decision. "Then come with us. We need an earth demon to guide us with the terrain." Ut looked up. "But I'm not an earth demon, and I don't have any talent related to terrain." She trembled, feeling disappointed in herself. I won't be able to help you. But Kang Chi-yu still insisted on Ut leaving. Don't worry, you are a fairy loved by nature. Ut was astonished to hear those words. Furthermore, you just showed me you are braver than anyone else in danger. Kang Chi-yu was like an angel bringing light to her. That is more than enough. Now stand up and come with me. But still couldn't believe her ears. She remained motionless on the ground. Ut's eyes trembled as she looked at him. I don't even remember what my parents looked like. I was abandoned somewhere, and then captured here, living a life of suffering. I thought I would live like this until I died. Ut's eyes now shed tears of emotion. Can I really leave this place? She kept crying, and continuously asked, Can I really follow you? Kang Chi-yu replied to her words, You won't follow me, you will come with me. Ut was even more moved after hearing this. He quickly helped her up from her sadness of being locked up. Now let's get out of here. Thank you, Master Ko La. Time passed very quickly. Night had fallen over this place, and so we dealt with the earth demons and rescued the captured dark elves. I was worried because they had never seen the outside, but they are demon hybrids, loved by nature. No matter how and where they live, it will be better than that place. Ut's eyes gradually became hazy, looking ahead at the night sky. The sky at this moment was full of bright stars, like a new freedom. Jane walked over to her side and shouted, Listen here, you're new, so you have to listen to us, all right? Ut gently replied. Yes, what do you want? All right. Frey stepped forward and ordered her, then find a place with a river, with the sensitive sense of smell of a dark elf. Ut quickly located the water source. I smell water in that direction. Jane praised Ut with a scary expression. You're pretty good, I admit it. Thank you. Kang Chi-yu looked at Sis in surprise and asked, Sis, why are we looking for a river? Frey replied to his confused question. Because we can't keep going like this forever. We need to find something to ride. So all their actions had a purpose. If we find a river, we can find something like that. Jane felt very excited. Oh, let's go catch a dragon. Frey turned to her irritably and said, Don't dream about catching a dragon. I want a dragon. We'd be lucky to just find a unicorn. Kang Chi-yu quickly told everyone to leave. All right, let's follow the direction Ut pointed. Understood. In the night. At this moment, there was complete silence. Nearby was a river flowing gently. Beside the river were two unicorns drinking water. They suddenly raised their heads, seemingly detecting strange noises. Then they ran away to hide. The hooves of the two unicorns were very sharp. Wherever they went, they left large footprints. Very quickly, the two unicorns spread their wings and flew into the vast sky. Meanwhile, Jane kept mumbling, I want a dragon, a dragon. I told you there are no dragons here. Night gradually fell in the Earth Demon Valley. At this moment, Cry had found their territory. She stood looking at the Earth Demon trapped under the rubble. Seeing someone approach the Earth Demon crushed with only his upper body visible and severely injured, Mikely begged. Save me. However, Cry remained very calm. So this one is the only survivor. Then she said nothing more and just remained silent. Numerous corpses lay scattered on the ground. A bloody battle had just occurred. It wasn't that serious. A group of people was sitting around a bonfire roasting meat among the scattered corpses. Dis wondered why the family tracking spell wasn't effective. Cry sat there, still very calm. About that, I don't know. Several individuals were detected in different directions. The short-haired young man with a scar on his eyebrow turned to Cry and asked, No way. There are so many of Hio's children left. So there really is no way to know which one is Ko. La. Cry nodded. That's right. Audrea chewed on a piece of meat and said irritably, shouting at Cry, So what do we do? We can't waste time hunting them all. Killian calmly cleaned his sword and said, Looks like there's no other way. We will hunt down demons all over the continent. Then he turned towards Cry and instructed, Cry, can you try to find Ko-La first? Cry immediately agreed. I can teleport to a certain distance. If it's just me, I think it will be faster. Seeing this, Dis laughed loudly. Good, excellent. In the meantime, we can kill. He meant clean up. So Cry, I'll leave that to you. Cry immediately stood up. I will do that. Her eyes suddenly widened. Her eyes with blue pupils glowed, creating a magic circle that grew larger, but seeing this, he was stunned. Suddenly disappeared within the circle of light. Wow, she just left like that. Killian smiled and turned to the others. Then shall we go hunt those demons? Returning to the present moment. Was in the Valley of the Earth Demons, she asked the dying Earth Demon. I can sense a faint energy from Heo Kandun here. Did Ko-La pass by here? The Earth Demon quickly stammered in reply. Yes, Ko-La. That bastard wiped out our entire tribe. That bastard Ko-La. Cry continued to inquire. And where did he go? The Earth Demon was scared and pleaded. I don't know. But before that, can you save? Before he could finish speaking, the Earth Demon was shot through the head. Cry without hesitation raised her hand and killed him. Her finger shot out a ray of light with incredible speed. If you don't know, you're useless. After that, she stood still thinking. I guess there's no other way but to follow this faint energy trail. Then she tilted her head back and sighed. Kang Chi-yu Kandun. As for Kang Chi-yu's group, they had reached the river. They cheered happily. It's the river. We finally made it. Kang Chi-yu Kandun immediately turned to Ut and exclaimed, You actually led us to a river just based on scent, even though it's several days away. Fairies are truly different, thank you, but he seemed not to like it much, turning and pointing at Ut with annoyance. Don't get cocky just because you did this, newbie. Ut heard this and could only helplessly comply. I'm sorry. Kang Chi-yu Kandun crossed his arms, his face tired. I'm hungry because we haven't eaten properly for days. Jane heard this and immediately changed her attitude. Master, you know how good I am at fishing. I volunteer. Suddenly, a school of fish in the river jumped out of the water. The school of fish jumped onto the ground and landed right in Ut's hands. Everyone looked at him in surprise. What? How did he do that? But he calmly turned back and explained, I did that by controlling the flow, using the power of nature. Frey Kandun looked at him and praised, You even know how to do that, truly impressive. Jane looked at him and felt annoyed, like she was being threatened. Not wanting to be outdone, Jane immediately unleashed her power, creating a purple flame. Then I'll set the fire right away. Kang Chi-yu. Kandun exclaimed in surprise. Magic is indeed convenient. However, Frey Kandun immediately stopped her. No need. Jane. Jane, full of disappointment, froze and didn't move. She hid in a corner behind a tree, looking distraught and hurt. A column of black smoke rose in the middle of the forest. Everyone praised. Delicious. Everyone sat around the fire. Frey Kandun couldn't stop praising. It tastes good too. Well done. Ut, he gently replied. Thank you. Kang Chi-yu turned to Jane and asked in surprise, Jane, aren't you eating? She bowed her head sadly. I'm full. Hearing this, Frey Kandun didn't hesitate to take Jane's fish and gobble it up. Then I'll eat yours. Jane looked after her dejectedly. Go ahead, Kang Chi. You looked intently at Jane, seeming to understand something. Jane sat silently, looking sad. He immediately turned and said, Just eating fish isn't enough. I wonder if there's any fruit around here. Jane heard this and eagerly jumped up. Fruit. I'll go find some right away. Ut heard this and also stood up and said, I can find fruit too. Immediately. Keola stopped him. No Ut. Jane will go find it. He turned to Jane and smiled. Right, Jane. She had only been waiting for this and happily ran off immediately. Of course, sir. Please leave it to me. I will definitely bring back the best fruit for you, master. Berwei looked after her and laughed. She's so simple, and Ut was still in a daze. Then she turned to tease Keola. By the way, Keola, you're quite subtle. Did you do that intentionally because she was sad? He immediately avoided her gaze, embarrassed. Subtle. My foot, I just wanted to eat fruit. Kang Chi Yu then asked. Ut. Anyway, Ut, do you think we can find a unicorn here? Yes, I smelled them when I was little. I smell a similar scent here. Suddenly, Keola lowered his head and thought. I hope there really is a dragon like Jine said. Sis scowled and shouted, I told you there are no dragons here. And Jine was happily running around singing, fruit, fruit, delicious fruit. Immediately she found some and couldn't help but rejoice. Here they are. She didn't think twice and immediately jumped up to pick them. I have to bring back delicious fruit to please my master. I can't let that new guy surpass me. Tutorial. Jine was overjoyed. Perfect, I found a ripe one. But suddenly the ground below Jane moved violently. Jane panicked. An earthquake. At this moment, she suddenly realized something was wrong. It was a dragon. Its eyes glared at Jine, growling. Jine looked at it and froze. At this moment, Jine snapped out of her daze. She shouted loudly in fear. It's a dragon! The three of them were still talking. Sis asked Ut. So that's it. You can naturally sense earth energy. Ut explained, yes. I don't know how to describe it in words, but I can sense natural energy from a certain distance. Kang Chi Yu heard this and thought, I wonder if it's similar to looking at a map in a game. Frey exclaimed non-stop. That's a really good ability for finding dungeons. But Ut still calmly explained, but that's if the distance isn't too far, so I don't know how much I can help. Kang Chi Yu then asked Ut if she could increase the distance through training. Ut replied, I heard there's a way to increase the distance. What is it? Ut explained to Keola by consuming a see-through stone from a dragon that has lived for over 1,000 years. I will be able to expand the range of sensing natural energy by several hundred times. Kang Chi Yu heard this and was surprised. Several hundred times. Isn't that great? However, Ting Dao this. Sis shook her head. Finding a dragon is not an easy task, and even if you find one, there's no way to kill it. Kang Chi Yu was surprised and asked Sis, Are dragons really that strong? She replied seriously. Yes, dragons are fundamentally apex predators in nature. Furthermore, dragons don't like demons. Frey then recounted. The only ones who can tame dragons are a few rare humans with extremely high spiritual power. Kang Chi Yu heard this and exclaimed, That's really ironic. The only ones who can tame dragons are weak humans. Frey just laughed and didn't seem to care much. I won't try to understand the nature of dragons. Kang Chi Yu was quite interested in this and said seriously. Anyway, a dragon's see-through stone. I wish there was a way to get one. Hearing this, Sis waved her hand and refuted. There's no way to find a dragon, so don't worry about it. Give up. Kang Chi Yu lowered his head a little. Sad, I guess you're right. Ut just looked up and sighed. I wish I could find one for Ut. At this moment, Jine was being chased by the dragon. The ferocious dragon roared. Jane ran away in fear and kept crying for help. Master, it's a dragon. Save me. The group of them looked towards Jane and were very surprised. What a dragon. It's so big. Without time to admire it for long, the whole group ran away in fear. Don't just run and admire it. You said we wouldn't encounter a dragon. And why is it so big? It was a giant and ferocious dragon. It opened its mouth and roared loudly as if it was going to swallow the whole group. I don't know. Even I've never seen one this big, Jane screamed in panic, making Kang Chi-yu stop her. Jane, don't scream, because you keep attracting attention. It's been chasing us this whole time. Cry was standing at the edge of the forest observing. She heard the screams of Kang Chi-yu's group. That sound. The screams of the whole group filled the forest. Luckily, Kang Chi-yu's group found a place to hide. They all hid behind a large rock. The dragon behind them was still hunting them. It didn't find Kang Chi-yu's group hiding and turned around and left. Frey dared to peek out at this moment to check the situation. It's gone. Then she turned back, angry, shouting at Jane. What the hell did you bring with you when you went to find fruit? Jane cried in fear. I'm sorry, I didn't know there was a dragon nearby. Oot looked at the dragon and commented, It's really big. With that size, it must have lived for over 1,000 years. Kang Chi-yu was very surprised to hear this. So that means... Cry, who was sitting nearby, spoke up at this moment. A dragon that has lived for over 1,000 years. So that means it has a see-through stone. Kang Chi-yu heard this and turned back, agreeing, exactly. This might be an opportunity. Seeing something wrong? The whole group suddenly turned to look. The whole group still looked blankly at Kang Chi-yu. At this moment, he suddenly thought of something. You... Frey was surprised and jumped up. You... This cannot be. Cry of the White Tan-Kan army. At this moment, both Jane and Kang Chi-yu also recognized her, and were shocked. What? How is a member of the Tan-Kan army here? Did they find us? The whole group quickly prepared formation, raising their weapons to fight. Shouted loudly, Everyone prepare for battle! Cry still stood there, calmly. Cry is famous for being a cold-blooded and ruthless mage. Kang Chi-yu looked at Cry, feeling scared, and thought to himself, I thought I would live a peaceful life after escaping the Demon King's castle. Why do I keep running into danger? Kang Chi-yu worriedly looked at Cry, who still seemed calm. This time, it's a cold-blooded mage. However, Cry had no intention of fighting and calmly said, Please calm down. We don't need to fight here. Hearing this, Kang Chi-yu was surprised and couldn't believe it. What? Cry continued. Frey, traitor of Tan-Kan. You should know that fighting here is useless. Frey heard this and gritted her teeth angrily. Cry cast her magic. Sharp ice arrows shot from her hand. I can kill you all with just one spell. Kang Chi-yu heard this and asked Sis in fear. Sis, is that true? She replied, I don't want to admit it, but she's not exaggerating. Frey looked worriedly. I'm sure Cry is stronger than all of us combined. Jane stammered blankly. But then what should we do? Cry continued. We don't need to do this here. If you obediently follow me, she said calmly, you won't have to die for now. Kang Chi-yu heard this and couldn't help but be suspicious. Where do you want us to follow you? She simply replied. To our commander. He is the commander of Tan-Kan. He wants to meet Kang Chi. Ukilian is there. Cry swung her hand and ordered, So follow me. Kang Chi-yu heard this and frowned angrily. If that's the case, then you mean, if I go there, I'll also die. Cry didn't seem to want to negotiate. Anyway, she looked at him with contempt. Won't you live a little longer? Kang Chi-yu heard this and couldn't help but be worried. I dreamed of living in a game I can't die such a miserable death. He looked at her and thought to himself, if I follow that person, I'll definitely die. Then, Kang Chi didn't hesitate and shot an arrow at Cry. Fighting to the death is better than accepting that. Cry quickly created a barrier to protect herself. Free shouted loudly. Everyone attack! She then shot sparks from her staff. They aimed directly at Cry and exploded. Ut was also concentrating to control nature. Unexpectedly, roots grew from under Cry's feet. They quickly wrapped tightly around her. Jin was no longer scared, but became angry. She thought to herself, I've always been a burden to Master Kang Chi-Yu. I can't die doing nothing like an idiot. Bracco! She rushed towards Cry and directly attacked Cry's barrier. I will protect Master Keola. However, Gitishtarsis saw Jane rushing in and was very worried, immediately shouting, Jane, you can't use close-range attacks. But Cry didn't suffer any damage. She immediately launched an attack. If you choose that, Jane was hit and screamed loudly. Then a large explosion sent her flying quite far. Jane was thrown back and fell hard to the ground, no longer holding back this time. Cry prepared to launch an attack. Then I'll just take Keola's body. She then flew up and shot ice arrows from above. Sis quickly created a barrier to protect everyone. Everyone stand close to me. After the barrage of ice, Sis's barrier luckily held. Kang Chi-Yu was worried and immediately asked Jane. Jane, are you okay? Jane cried uncontrollably, looking at Keola. I'm sorry. Master Kang Chi-Yu, I can never help you, but now was not the time. They looked worriedly at the barrier. This is not the time to talk about that. My shield won't last long. But Kang Chi-Yu was startled and turned to ask Sis. Sis, do you have anything that can defeat that spell? Sis could only helplessly reply. Unfortunately, even if I did, the distance between my magic circle and Cry is too great. Cry continued to shoot barrages of ice arrows at Kang Chi-Yu's group. Sis's barrier was about to break. My shield is starting to crack. Kang Chi-Yu looked up in fear. If that's the case, all four of them were very worried. We're going to die at the hands of that bitch. However, Kang Chi-Yu still refused to give up. There must be a way, think. Suddenly, Kang Chi-Yu seemed to discover something. Kang Chi-Yu immediately thought, that's right. The entity in my subconscious. If I can meet the entity again. At this moment, Kang Chi-Yu closed his eyes and shouted loudly. Frey was very surprised to see this. What are you doing? If you use your power here, the shield will break even sooner. Kang Chi-Yu gritted his teeth and used all his strength. This is it. Suddenly, the dragon from earlier heard the noise from the battle. The dragon listened intently to the strange sounds coming from afar. It quickly realized. Cry. I sensed something from Keola. I sense Heo Kandun's energy from you. It seems it only appears when you exert yourself like this. She hovered in the air and attacked. Now I understand why I couldn't locate you before. Cry did not hold back. However, even so, it seems this is the end. And Kang Chi-Yu was still trying his best to enter his subconscious. Damn it! Why can't I enter my subconscious? Ko. La gritted his teeth in anger. Shouldn't something take over when I'm about to die? Frey at this moment looked up in panic. No, the shield is breaking. Cry shot sharp ice arrows that shattered Sis's shield. Kang Chi-Yu helplessly looked at the shattered shield, scared. No, however, something unexpected happened. The dragon that had been chasing everyone earlier now acted as a shield, blocking the ice arrows for Kang Chi-Yu's group. Kang Chi-Yu's group was astonished to see the dragon. What? The dragon no longer showed any hostility towards Kang Chi-Yu's group. The dragon blocked it. Chu was surprised and saw the dragon's memory. The dragon's eyes met Chu's. This is the dragon's memory. An image of Te appeared clearly. That's Keola's mother. He suspiciously concluded. That means this dragon knows Keola's mother. The image of Te stroking the dragon appeared again, both sweet and poignant. The dragon's memory suddenly spoke. Run. Chu was both surprised and panicked. Chu thought to himself. Is this the dragon's voice? From the dragon's mouth, a gem shot out. Chu was confused. What is this? The dragon then explained to Chu. This is my see-through stone. Chu was flustered and blank. But why are you giving it to me? The dragon looked him straight in the eye and said loudly, I don't have time to explain. Hide your power and escape from this place. Chu was panicked and didn't understand what was happening. He gasped. Hide my power and run. Ultimately, the dragon sensed something unusual and urged him again, shouting, Hurry! As soon as it finished speaking, the dragon suddenly unleashed a powerful burst of fire towards the distance. Cry appeared and calmly said, Oh, a dragon helping a demon, how strange. Chu nervously gritted his teeth, glancing towards her. I don't have time to think about this. Frey Kandun had arrived and spoke up. Evacuate! Come on, everyone, run! Cry's tone was mocking. A truly powerful dragon. Why is it interfering now? She lightly closed her eyes and mocked again. Then I have a lot to consider. The dragon's pupils dilated. It unleashed another burst of fire. The fire directly hit Cry's position. Cry was still looking down on these attacks. Is that your best attack? Then I'm also. She suddenly opened her shining blue pupils, going to have to exert myself a little. She then cast her technique. A barrier was created. Heavenly Star. When the dragon's fire hit her technique, the dragon's eyes suddenly dilated. It remembered the beautiful memories of being with her. The dragon's eyes widened. A large ice block fell, whitening the ground. Chu turned his head and was very surprised. The ice block had fallen on the dragon and taken its life. Cry remained calm. As expected, she said. A dragon helping a demon. The more I think about it, the stranger it is. I'll look at its memories before it dies. The dragon's body gradually withered. Cry was surprised by what was before her. The dragon, full of resentment and overwhelming malice, said, You selfish and cruel humans. The time will come when you regret everything you've done. The fire grew fiercer and fiercer. The dragon gradually vanished. Cry was not surprised by what the dragon did. It ended its own life, Cry thought to herself and calculated. That gave Keola time to hide his presence and escape. Now this is troublesome. At this moment she cast another spell. But this won't change your fate. Kangchi Yu Kandun, your fate is sealed to die at the hands of the White Tan Can. Chu with smoky gray hair, a helpless face, and empty golden eyes. I don't know, but I feel a mix of bitterness and sweetness. His pale hands held a red gem. What did the dragon give you? This. Jane spoke up and asked again. Isn't that a dragon's see-through stone? Chu answered her, gripping the red gem tightly in his hand. It didn't just save us, it also gave us a see-through stone. In Free's mind, the image of T appeared. I think we were just saved by the queen. Chiu's face was rigid, his mouth pressed shut, his expression showing no emotion, but containing determination and rigidity. He squeezed his hand tightly. What was the relationship between Keola's mother and that dragon? Anyway, we were lucky. Chu gave the red gem to the man wearing a cloak with black gloves. You take it. Ut. Three's face was angry, his voice echoing. The White Tan Can is targeting us. Ut's voice rang out. We need to do everything we can to prepare ourselves. Ut seemed to gesture with his hand, placing the see-through stone on his chest, cherishing it. His voice rang out as if doubting himself. Should I really accept it, sir? Chu's expression was stern. Of course. There's no one else here suitable to use it. Eat it quickly. Ut's hands were careful, his voice lacking confidence, as if hesitating. Then he put it into his mouth. Ut swallowed the see-through stone. Ut's face furrowed slightly. Ugh! Ut's red eyes glowed brightly, his mouth slightly open, as if screaming, ah! A pair of glowing red eyes appeared, emitting light. When I was born, I was a lab rat for humans. 3 men in gray cloaks with sinister faces. They performed cruel experiments without caring how much I hurt. It happened every day. The dragon was full of pain and despair. Through many generations of humans, they continuously tore apart my body for experiments. The scene appeared with brutality. Patches of vivid and dark red splattered everywhere. A desperate voice echoed like a curse, repeating between life and death. And whenever I was about to die, they would heal me to continue. Century after century passed, until one day my mind shattered into many pieces, and I gave up everything. Cuckoo, it's not crying anymore. A malicious voice echoed like a great achievement had been reached. It has stopped crying in our generation. This is an achievement, isn't it? While I waited for death, the ancient city appeared with white streaks. Tak Kandun, his eyes wide, his mouth wide, with sharp teeth. Tak Kandun, who was called the worst. Demon King began to invade humanity. Tak's voice echoed full of arrogance and cruelty. Ha 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 ha! You lowly humans, I will kill all of you. In that war, the laboratory collapsed. The dragon was freed, and I was finally free. Broken pillars lay scattered everywhere. The tone sounded like liberation, yet contained resentment towards the place that had imprisoned it. A dragon with a sturdy, strong appearance, its eyes vigilant. I escaped from that hellhole. After feeling free and soaring through the air, the sky was gray. The dragon with wide wings soaring through the pale blue sky. I began to seek out my fellow dragons. I told them about the cruelty of humans and suggested that we should help the demon hybrids attack humanity, but unexpectedly, no one believed me. The dragons had formed close relationships with humans. The cooperation between humans and dragons had formed, and they helped them fight against the demon hybrids. The dragon with sharp teeth widened its mouth. Not many dragons realize that the reason humans could get close to us dragons is because of the sacrifice of test subjects like me. A tear rolled down its rough scales. Humans used us dragons for experiments to find a way to approach our species and grasp our magic, however. This truth was not accepted by my kind. The red dragon curled up its scales, layered like stones, its head bowed, resting on its wings, its eyes closed, hiding loneliness and helplessness. They refused to believe me because they had developed a hostile relationship with demons. They thought I would mislead humanity, carrying sadness. If that's the case, in the hazy scene, a lonely figure stood silently in the desolate space, its voice echoing, showing doubt about its existence. Why was I born into this world? Carrying weariness, its dull yellow eyes opened wide, staring into the void before it, seemingly trying to find an answer in the darkness. If I can't fit in anywhere and can't do anything, a heavy sigh escaped, carrying all the confusion and despair. Then what is the purpose of my existence? The gray dragon curled up on a precarious rock. Its wings closed, embracing its lonely body, its voice carrying a sad acceptance, and so I isolated myself. Unending loneliness. A hoarse voice echoed, carrying resignation and weariness. There, I wasted my life, waiting for the end. Sharp, dark claws plunged deep into the damp earth. Heavy footsteps left marks on the withered grass. His pale face appeared with messy white hair, falling to cover almost his entire closed eyes. His fingers were clenched, tightly placed on his temples, as if trying to suppress a severe headache. T's image as a child appeared. She walked, tears streaming down her face, until I met T. The dragon was surprised and looked up at her. Her small face was contorted in pain. Her large round eyes looked ahead, tears streaming down her pale cheeks. Her small mouth was wide open, her tiny hand trembling as she reached out. Mother! A choked cry full of pain and despair echoed in the space, her small face buried in the dragon's rough scales, her shoulders trembling violently. Wah, mother! The eyes looked down at the little girl, holding him tightly with a complex expression. I am not your mother. And at that moment I realized perhaps I had found the reason I was born. As soon as she hatched from the egg, Tae was immediately captured and taken for experiments. Among all the test subjects, Tae had the highest magic power. From the moment she was born, the child could master both complex dragon spells and transformation magic. Because of this, Tae became Tasek's primary test subject. From a young age, she had to endure pain every second, every minute, in a confined situation with no escape. After that, she herself researched and developed a teleportation spell and escaped the laboratory alone, wandering everywhere. Until she met me, the dragon thought. Perhaps because our fates are similar, we were drawn to each other, or maybe it was just a coincidence. Anyway, because both had gone through difficult times, it was hard to live like ordinary people. Te looked at the red dragon with sparkling eyes and called out loudly, "Master!" It looked at Tae in confusion and replied, "Yes, I am not your parents, so just call me Master." Hearing this, Tae was so happy she jumped up and down. The little girl called out happily, "Oh, yes, Master." Tae said, "Master, it sounds like Mother." The red dragon was angry but fondly scolded, "Just Master." From then on, I began to teach Tae many things, from how the world works to how a dragon should live, and all the dragon spells I knew. The time I spent with Tae was far from the long, tedious days before. Everything passed so quickly, unexpectedly. Tae sat on the back of the red dragon, both leaning against each other, gazing at the sky. Suddenly, the red dragon exclaimed, "Thank you to..." Hearing this, Tae asked back, "What's wrong?" The dragon closed its eyes and nothing. "I just wanted to say thank you." Tae looked at the red dragon and smiled. Why thank me? As it watched to grow little by little in the moments we spent together, I felt a happiness that words cannot describe. All the pain I had to endure just for being a dragon suddenly seemed meaningless before this beautiful life. But then something unexpected happened. The dragon suddenly felt something was wrong. Seeing this, Tae approached and asked, "What's wrong, Master?" The dragon didn't reply to her. The dragon just stared at Tae and asked loudly, "Who are you?" Tae was a little shocked. "What, it's me to..." "Looking at." Tae, it muttered. That form again. Ignoring Tae's words, it shouted in her face, "Are you human or demon? Confess now." Tae was terrified. "Master, why are you saying that? Are you testing me?" The dragon ignored her words. It breathed a large amount of fire and declared, "Whether you are human or demon, I will kill you." Tae retreated in panic. "Master, all that the dragon wanted was to live happily with Tae, but its body was weakened from the endless experiments before, so its lifespan was not as long as other dragons." The dragon's body weakened with each passing year. Karista sat down on the ground. She cried out, "Oh, Master, what's wrong? Don't you remember me?" At this moment, the dragon seemed to wake up. It looked at Tae blankly. Tae was still frightened. "Master, you remembered. Are you okay now?" The dragon looked at Tae with regret. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you." And at that moment, the dragon realized the truth. Before it completely failed to recognize the child, it had to leave her. While Tae wasn't paying attention, the dragon flapped its wings and flew away, Te searched everywhere for the dragon, but couldn't find it. At this moment, Te was in utter panic. Master is gone. She called out loudly, "Don't joke with me. Come out." But no one answered. At this moment, Te cried sadly. Master, VTE, my precious student. It went to the farthest place it could and began to prepare for the end of its life, silently immersing itself in old memories of Te, in the stream of recollection. Repeating between remembering and forgetting, I gradually understood why my memories were fading, because the dragon's life was about to end, until one day from afar, it felt a flow of energy that was both sweet and painful, and instinct drove it to seek that energy on the last day of its life. And then today, I finally met that energy again. Kang Chi-yu, with black hair, shouted loudly. Hearing the noise, the dragon flew over, showing panic on its face. It thought, "This energy is the only thing left in my memory." Tears streamed from the dragon's eyes. "It's the energy of Te, my beloved student." No. An image of Karista returned to its mind. Karista called out loudly, "Mother, my dear daughter." The dragon thought to itself, "It's the energy of the child." The dragon cried out and called out, "Frey." It flew past and saw the three people before it. But it wasn't Te, but another child. Nevertheless, in that fleeting moment, it recognized that this child was Te's son. Through her memory, the dragon saw Te, its beloved daughter, now a mother who always held her son with all her love. Te, at least the child you cherish will be protected by me. Thank you, Te, for making the last moments of my life no longer long, meaningless days. In the final moments of a long, arduous existence, it only needed to see her child once. That was enough. I love you. My daughter. Ut cried heartbrokenly, her legs buckling. Jane worriedly called out, "Hey, newbie, are you okay?" Ut was stunned, tears streaming down her face like a river. I just received a stream of memories like they were poured into my head. She said, "But it's like a dream. The more I try to remember, the more it fades away. Now I don't remember anything. But that dragon, I'm sure it died a peaceful death." Kang Chi-yu beside her asked again, "A happy death?"